with myself, Rob from Rob's Home Bar. We got Vino from 60 Second Cocktails, David from Booze on the Rocks, and we have Matt from the Whiskey Nerd. Say hi, gang.
Hello,
hi, gang.
Governor.
Hi, gang.
Yep.
How you guys doing?
Oh, what the
Hey,
fuck
all
is
doing?
this? Give me a second. What is happening?
Why are you swearing, Rob? It's too early to swear. You haven't had
It is a little early to swear, isn't it? Are we live, guys? Please tell us if we're live or if we're not live, because my screen it was just saying that live stream was not available. Can you guys see? Oh no, it looks live.
Throwing some sass in the chat saying he's going to go take a nap.
Oh no, we're live.
Well, I see Tim.
Okay, I'm seeing us live, so I guess we're
from
live.
Spirit of the Cocktail. I see Susan from Rhubarb and Cod. I see Christine is here.
Okay.
And Iceman is here. And Iceman's saying we're live.
Excellent.
I think we're live. Good stuff. Okay, so we are live. Let's try that again. No, the YouTube stream thing was giving me. It says the stream health is good now, but for a second there, it was saying that that the live stream was unavailable at this
And
time.
Trevor's
so
here.
I got a little bit of a heart attack.
We're
Trevor,
live, folks.
Start your intro
Oh,
all
I
over
can
again.
see it. Yeah.
Start your intro all over again.
welcome to the yada 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 Vino David Matt. Okay, there's the intro.
Hey.
What's everybody drinking tonight, guys? What's everyone drinking tonight?
Yes,
Everyone
let us know in the
everyone
comments.
in the
What are you
chat,
drinking?
Tell us what you're drinking. Hello, Christine,
We
Trevor,
got Wesley, we got Iceman, we got
Oh, yeah.
Tim,
my
Christine
man,
is
Mother
here.
of
In the
Iceman,
chat.
Uncle Pete is here.
Uncle Pete,
Trevor, of course,
Tim.
Rhubarb and Cod.
Damo, Susan,
Damo's made
Yes.
it.
We got
Oh,
ourselves
look at
a
everybody.
good crew.
Wesley.
Fantastic. Cocktails and other nonsense this year, which is Damo. Yeah, absolutely.
That is
Cocktails and
indeed.
other nonsense. Yes. All right. So, guys, today the theme is, of course, Irish cocktails. Yesterday was St. Patrick's Day, and we just the four of us ran a challenge in the month of March, Drunken Shamrock 2022. I've been so busy, I haven't watched them all. I do apologize, but there was a lot of submissions, a lot of green cocktails out there.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of new channels I saw coming up with different.
There's always some new
cocktails.
guys out there. It's a lot of fun when new guys just happen to find our channels and happen to find the hashtag, and they decide to jump on board and make a drink. It's always fun.
That's what it's all about. It's all about everybody having a little bit of fun, trying something new, sharing these recipes between each other. Because you know what? What's more fantastic than enjoying a cocktail with friends?
Someone is doing banana infused rum.
Oh, very nice.
Trevor. That must be Trevor.
No, that's
Tim, what do you think?
I made a banana
Candace.
liqueur.
That's actually Candace. How is it, Candace? Is it good?
I made a banana liqueur last year, and that stuff's not easy, but because banana turns to mush. So then when you after you infused it, after you go to strain it, it'll sit there in that coffee filter for like 4 hours, just slowly dripping down. But it does
strain it first with a tea filter.
Yeah,
get most of it out. Then you can move to your
but still, it compared to most fruits that I've infused, a banana turns to like goo and mush, and then it does a strain. I'm actually going to be starting a passion fruit liqueur soon, and I'm expecting the same process because passion fruit's kind of that gooey mess on the inside.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That goopy mush.
Gloop. The only thing you're not going to gloop will be the seeds, right?
Gloop. All right, so I assume we've all prepared quite a few cocktails tonight. Who wants to start us off?
I made a boo-boo. I didn't check to see what I'm going to make.
Well, then I'm going to start. I'm going to start off.
Okay.
Will we start with a shot of something?
Start with a shot. Usually, we end with a shot.
That's an Irishman for you, right there, folks.
Yes, Matt is the Irishman among us today. So,
what time is it?
What are we having?
We usually just Matt. Just so you know, Matt, we normally do that at the end of the show.
Okay.
But because we have an Irishman with us, we can do it to start.
The Irishman from Ireland, and what time is it over there?
I don't even know my shot.
It's 1:15 over here. So it's
1 in the morning. This trooper is up at 1 in the morning. So it's not even March 18th anymore. It's March 19th.
March 19th for me.
What do we have?
It's a long St. Patrick's Day weekend. I'm enjoying it all.
It's a long, yeah.
All right. So what are we having a shot of? Are we having an Irish whiskey to start this off?
Probably.
I mean, yeah.
You kind of have to, right?
Okay.
But what are we all doing? David, I don't think you don't have the Tullamore, eh?
No, I don't have Tullamore. I've got a little bit of Jameson. I have Writer's Tears. I have a little bit of Scotch. Tullamore, I don't have.
I have Jameson Black Barrel. But,
Mhm.
you could be.
I love this stuff. I'm more than happy to do it.
All right, let's do Tullamore, and David will just have to be the odd man out who's having Jameson or whatever you want.
Oh, hell no. You see, what I'm going to have is some Writer's Tears because I want the pain and suffering of Irish writers to soak into my soul and give me that true Irish feeling.
Oh, let's just take a moment to gawk at Tim and say no. Let's just say no.
Vodka shots?
No to vodka shots.
Hey, who in the chat? Who in the chat is Irish of any descent? Like 1%, 10%? Who in the chat is an Irishman besides Matt, of course?
Oh, Elliam had some Irish whiskey and Jameson for the first time today. Congratulations. Good
Which
man.
one? Just the standard Jameson? If you can find the Black Barrel, that stuff is incredible.
I just have the
the Black
regular
Barrel's
one.
really good.
We're gonna go for this.
Yeah,
So,
anything that has like that's charred barrel, double barrel, I love that stuff.
Hey, Matt, give us an Irish toast, Matt.
Son.
What do they say in Ireland?
Well, it's generally a good toast is a toast that's in 3 parts. So you kind of would say something, someone else might say something else, and then somebody else might say something else. You might say, to the nights we've had before. Somebody else might say, to the nights we'll have in future. And then third person might say, to the nights that we have tonight. And we all take it
All
back.
right,
Good
I
to
like
me.
that.
Cheers to that, my friend.
Cheers.
Cheers.
But tonight,
Cheers.
Tonight.
It's a night.
Tonight with good friends.
Damn, that is good, eh? Wow.
I love
You really
this stuff, man.
get like the Caribbean rum notes
You
off
do.
that. eh?
On
It
the,
definitely does
really
come
on the
through.
back end, it just all of a sudden you
it's all
taste this-
fruit.
you taste. All you do is taste that rum. It's awesome.
It doesn't fit on any of my shelves.
Well, then you better finish the bottle then.
Let's see. Trevor is 50% Irish. Christine is 50% Irish heritage.
Trevor's 50%.
1.3%. It's a big 1.3.
I think Trevor is 50% Irish, 50% rum.
So the Iceman, that's my buddy Matt, and he's 1.3% British and Irish.
1.3. I got lots of British. I have lots of British in me.
A lot of
so-
percentages here.
And
Well,
I'm
Edwards
sure
is a
there's
very
some
British
Irish in the
name,
mix
yeah?
too. So
Tim says he has none. I'm surprised.
Tim, what? No,
You sure about that, Tim?
Tim is part vodka. Like really?
One part vodka, one part
part, yeah.
Courvoisier.
So he's
Cognac.
Slavic.
Yeah, there we go,
Alright.
Trevor.
50
50%.
Irish, 50% pirate. Yeah.
That's it.
That is Trevor to the T.
That's
right
Trevor
there.
right there.
That is exactly.
The Irish pirate.
No, absolutely.
All right,
So,
so
what do you take it first, Roberto?
I will be making the James Joyce. So this was a cocktail I first discovered last year when Vino made it on his channel, and I probably had a whole lot of them during the month of March afterwards. So we are of course using Irish whiskey, and why not? We're gonna stick with the Tullamore rum cask. So we're doing 1.5 ounces of Irish whiskey. Already friggin' making a mess.
Zero. Holy cow.
After that, we're gonna do 3/4 ounce of triple sec, and I don't have triple sec now, but I figured why not? Let's use some of my green Curacao.
Good
Make
job.
this one slightly green. St. Patrick's Day was yesterday, but we are doing Irish cocktails, so green is still appropriate. It'll be not a lot of it, so it'll be slightly green. Actually, no. Next ingredient is sweet vermouth, so that's going to kill the green right there.
Yes, but what's your favorite part of the cocktail there, Rob?
I don't know. It's just really good. Okay, so after that, we've got 3/4 ounce of sweet vermouth. I'm using Dillon's, which is a local sweet vermouth. I know David has the same bottle, unless he's gone through it all.
Well, I got a little bit left.
It's a good one.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Trevor, I ain't fallen yet.
He's working on it, Trevor. He's Irish. It's first thing in the morning, and you know what? He's going to be
Gotta start
giving
the day
Rob
off
a run
right.
for his money.
All right, and last ingredient is going to be 1/2 ounce of lime juice, and this is actually my first batch of super juice, and it's about 2 weeks old now. It's still great. Yeah, you guys have checked out every I'd say Zach or Kevin have made a video, but like everyone's made a video now.
I have not made a video yet. I will make a video.
I don't think anyone here has, but
I'll make one.
No,
I'll make one just for home.
but yeah, it's basically like I got about, so yeah, those are the four ingredients in there. I got about 15 ounces from 2 limes, so it's definitely like, especially limes are getting expensive. They're like almost $1 a piece now.
Inflation.
So if you can make it last, then why not?
All
right.
Some money, absolutely.
Shake and shake. And we're going to be straighting this bad boy into a Nick and Nora. It's my favorite Nick and Nora's here. They're fancy looking. Is you Andrew pour? As we coined it last time. I wonder where Andrew is today. It should be like, what, 11 o'clock over there? And there it is, guys, the James Joyce. So we've got Irish whiskey, we've got triple sec, we've got sweet vermouth, and lime juice.
That's brown. That's not green.
And triple sec.
Yeah, as I said, the sweet vermouth kind of killed the green from the Curacao, but it's such a good cocktail. It's like the whiskey's present. It's very mild. It's very smooth and creamy, and then the vermouth and the triple sec add a nice sweetness, but it's not like overpowering. You really get the whiskey, and of course the citrus just kind of balances everything out. Really good.
And I'll say cheers to that, Rob, because I've just made one myself.
Ah, there you go. He's so fast.
Hey, Matt, is this your first James Joyce?
It is. I saw you put the recipe into our little chat, and I was like, I got to try that. Because it's actually quite similar to the Dubliner, which is the cocktail I put out this week.
Today. You put it today.
Yeah, it's like this has a bit of lime juice in it.
What's the difference?
It just has the lime juice, basically.
Oh,
it has lime juice, but no orange bitters.
Ah,
no.
So it gets a bit more sweet, a bit more kind of tangy without the kind of baseline orange sweetness.
mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a great one. All right, David, you up next?
Yeah, I'll make one. I'm actually going to do a cocktail by Cocktail Logics and Kino. He did something called an Irish Eye, which sounds really fantastic. So we're going to start with the only non-Irish product in here, which is a little bit of Creme De Menthe. You know, because you just can't go wrong with a little bit of that stuff. You know what?
Can't go wrong.
Even if you're using Guinness brand. So you need about half an ounce of that wonderful stuff there. Very nice and green. We're going to add a little bit of an Irish whiskey, and we're going to use a little bit of Jameson. Now we're going to get really exciting, and we're going to use a full 2 ounces of this.
Ooh.
Got to do it all the way, right? While I spill everything I make, because I'm trying not to get green all over my cutting board. And now we need another Irish ingredient, a little bit of Bailey's. So this is going to be a nice sort of dessert.
Bailey's.
So now we're going to fire off a good 1.5 ounces in here.
I gotta say, I don't use a lot of Bailey's.
And 1.5 ounces of Bailey's is a lot.
It's gonna be creamy.
Yeah, well, it is. So, and that's one of the things I wanted to really try it out because I haven't tried this cocktail yet. No, it's simple syrup.
David, Trevor says you're not making a video. You don't have to be so formal.
So formal. I'm not being formal. I'm giving you proper instruction in the art of making this cocktail I've never tried. Because I
as
never
long as
ever
we
tried
get a look at that once it's done, I'm happy.
Yeah, we got to get a look at that.
Look at that.
Well, if you give me a moment after I shake this, just a sec. Let me do this right and shake it with the mouth. So shake it pretty good there. You only need about 10 seconds. And put it in whatever glass you want. He put it in a rocks glass. I'll do a bit of a dirty dump because, I can't be bothered to. And look at that. Absolutely fantastic.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Look at that.
Just for my friend over in Ireland. So, take a look at this gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous drink. It's a nice, subtle green.
Nice subtle green. All right. What does it taste like?
It's very minty. But
anything like Creme De Menthe is so overpowering. Anything you add it to is automatically you can't have like a subtle mint flavor unless you do like a lot. Actually, speaking of that, a lot of another thing about it on Difford's guide, a lot of it, and this actually becomes kind of a meme for him, but a lot of his drinks he likes to do like a bar spoon of Creme De Menthe. I guess he likes to add that hint.
He has a very but he's got a fantastic website with a lot of great recipes that you can fiddle with. But some of his cocktails are very precise measurements of that.
I know.
2 or 3. But you know what? It does make a difference. But it does
like I go by ounce, and I've got the jigger that's got the quarter, half, 3/4, 1 and 2, 1.5 and 2, and sometimes like 1/16 of an ounce. I'm like, what the hell is that? How am I going to measure that? That's a bar.
I've heard that the bottom of this jigger is 7.5 mil.
Yeah.
So yes, so you can get.
You can get there, but it's just it's annoying. Like, yeah, I think you.
Half a half works perfectly fine. That gives you a half. Anything else, you might as well just drink straight out of the bottle.
All right, Mr. Valentino, you seem to be cooking up a storm over there.
Yeah, so last year I made a bunch of Irish whiskey cocktails, and there was one of them that really disappointed me. It was called the whiskey.
I remember that the whiskey.
Yeah, that was the one and only time I've had it. I wasn't happy about it. I want to try it again, see if my
how do you spell that?
In the last year, you know what I'm saying? So
how do you spell whiskey?
Weeski. Whiskey. Like I guess they're trying to do like a leprechaun would say whiskey. Whiskey. Got the whiskey. Whiskey. So last year I made it with Jameson, but this year I'm gonna do it with this Tullamore because I love this stuff. So I'm gonna give it a go.
Yeah,
that Tullamore is
so good. If you guys don't have this, get it. It's unbelievable.
Although I mean,
it's so good, well priced. It's like this.
It is cheap. Yeah, I do like. I mean, I know we're talking Irish whiskey, but my favorite. Speaking of like the rum casks, my favorite of the rum casks whiskeys was the Glenlivet Caribbean cask.
Yeah, no, you love that.
That one. Oh, I wouldn't mix with it. This one I'll mix, like the Tullamore I'll mix with, but that one was during last summer, that was my sipping whiskey of pretty much all summer long.
Hey, Vino,
Lillet.
We have a question for you while you're talking about your Lillet. Did you get a fresh cut for this stream?
You might have.
No, my hair just does things, man.
It just does magical things.
My hair continues to grow, except for the widow's peaks, which are really trying to move their way back, right? However, because this is all Irish formed, one of my favorite Irish whiskeys, and I'd like to know what everybody that's watching this right now thinks when it comes to Irish whiskeys. Jameson's great, Writer's Tears is great, Red Breast 12 is fantastic. I'm not drunk yet. I ate today. And one of my favorites, although it's expensive, is Rowan Co., which I know is a newer whiskey on the market.
That's my favorite right there.
Red Breast? 12?
Red Breast Lestau.
Oh, the Lestau? I can't
remember. It's finished in sherry casks. Oh, it's so good.
Well, the thing is, the Red Breast 12 is also finished in sherry casks, but the Lestau edition is finished for longer specifically from the Bodega's Lestau. So it gives that much more of a sherry, and it also comes in at a higher ABV. So whereas Red Breast 12 is good. Yeah, the Lestau is 46.
Yeah, 46. I didn't even realize it was a higher ABV.
Yeah, so you get more of the flavor.
Mm-hmm.
So this is perfect for those of you that are new to our stream. Matt, who's joined us, has the Whiskey Nerd channel, and he does some fantastic reviews of whiskey. And he's from Ireland, where they make Irish whiskey.
Yeah,
and he's got a great chunk of knowledge.
Yeah, and I focus on whiskey cocktails. So like I'll make a whiskey spin on something just to see which different whiskeys will give a different kind of taste on something. Like I'll make a few rum cocktails with this Tullamore Dew rum cask because it is nice, it is sweet, it's easy to mix with, and it's very easy to just drink in a cocktail.
No, absolutely. Hey, can you get maple syrup there?
Yes.
Is it horrendously expensive?
No, I've got some in my bar right now. I've got some in my bar. Yeah.
Okay, so
whiskey barrel aged maple syrup. This is from a local distillery.
Yes.
This stuff is incredible.
So listen, a year later, I gotta tell you, I like it.
We were killing time.
Christine digs the Lestau as well. All right,
hey,
so what's in that?
What did you actually make?
Yeah, run us through that again.
It's 2 ounces of Irish whiskey, and I use that Tullamore Caribbean cask. I'm telling you, made a difference. An ounce of Lillet, a bar spoon of Cointreau, which is a bit weird, but yeah. And 2 to 3 dashes of orange bitters. Stir it up, put it in your glass. Very nice drinking.
Nice, Matt. I think Tim just realized you were here. Matt.
Tim. I know Rose isn't here tonight, because she's asleep. But I'm still important too.
He's used to the three of us, and he zones out that fourth quadrant.
Okay, so Tim said Busker is great.
Yeah, they're good. Busker have actually done a really cool thing where they collaborate with different cocktail makers in different parts of the world, and they ship them their 4 whiskeys. So they make 4 different types of whiskeys, and they get these new cocktail makers to make different cocktails with the different whiskeys. So they're currently collaborating with a guy in Japan, and he made a really cool kind of I can't remember, it's not a lychee, I can't remember the fruit he used, but he made like a kind of a whiskey sour with a different type of fruit. It was really nice looking. Yeah. But they'll ship these 4 different whiskeys, and then they just invent something new. It's really clever.
That sounds good.
Everybody in the chat, what have you drank besides Jameson? If you've had Irish whiskey before, what have you had besides Jameson? Little Tullamore, little Bushmills, little Redbreast, whatever it's called.
What do you think, Matt? Have you Middleton? That's known as like high end, isn't it? Or
yeah, so Middleton is probably the biggest distillery in Ireland. They make loads of whiskeys. It's kind of like MGP in America.
Okay.
But what they do is they focus on pot still whiskey, and pot still whiskey lets you kind of vary the mash bill a lot. So they'll produce a lot of different whiskeys. So they're behind Jameson, they're behind Powers, Paddy, they're behind Redbreast, Green Spot, Blue Spot, all them. And also Middleton Very Rare.
Yeah.
But the special thing about Middleton Very Rare is because they have all these whiskeys, they will go and they'll say, this is the best whiskey we have this year. And that's the whiskey that comes out as Middleton Very Rare. So they will specifically go, all these brands they've got, everything they've got, that's the best one we've got.
And is it typically very good, or is it just a marketing thing?
It's very good.
It's very good.
It's consistently very good.
I've never occasionally at our liquor store here, like me and David have a very in Ontario we have a very limited selection, but occasionally I've seen a bottle of Middleton for like a couple $100. Like, it's expensive. I've never bought one, but it's definitely on my radar for I've heard that it was a very hot one, so Irish whiskey, and I'm like, I want to try that.
Yeah,
what are your thoughts,
very good. Pardon?
What are your thoughts on one of the only peated Irish whiskeys that I've tried, which I cannot get in Ontario. I know you can sometimes get it in Quebec. It's called Connemara.
Connemara is good. It's quite nice. It's light enough for a peated whiskey. Now, if someone's used to peated whiskey, they might be used to Scottish peated whiskies, which are very heavy. Connemara is nice. It's light because it's coming from the Cooley distillery. The grain they use actually gives it lots of like apples and pears and orchard fruits. So they've made a few cocktails. Like they made for St. Patrick's Day, they made a woo-woo. I know, a woo-woo with the Connemara. Yeah. Because it's got that fruitiness behind it. With the cranberry juice, with the peach, it actually pairs in pretty well. So it's a nice
what a weird cocktail choice.
But not really, because it would actually work really good, and then you'd get that light hint of smoke in the background that would just give you that little bit. It's the only peated whiskey that I've tried that's Irish. Now I think there's one more that you've talked about on your channel, if I remember correctly.
There's not that many, but they're getting a bit more common.
Dave, have you seen a peated Irish whiskey at the LCBO?
No, I've never seen one. But it's just what I would love to get my hands on, and I can't afford, and nobody will ship. Welcome to the land of living in Canada and Ontario.
Specifically Ontario. Ontario sucks for liquor.
I have a question for Trevor. So he said he's tried West Cork. Which of the West Corks has he tried? Because they've released a bunch of different ones, and they did a cool release where they released the exact same whiskey, but they finished it in different wine casks. So they had one that was finished in port, sherry, virgin oak, rum, and Calvados. So they had the same whiskey that they then split into 5 batches.
I'd love to try the Calvados. The Calvados.
Ladies and gentlemen, Matt is really a whiskey nerd. He's proving us that.
We could chat for like this for hours.
He's a real whiskey nerd.
I've found my niche, and I'm in it.
So, Trevor, we'll let Trevor answer, but you're the second person this week that's told me that Proper 12 is crap.
You know what? I saw a review where a guy drank some, gave his review, then literally threw the bottle with no editing into the garbage. Just did this. And I know it's a terrible to waste. Good
I would never waste whiskey. It'd have to be really. It would have to be what's that called? Fireball.
Yeah, but let's be honest.
And that's not even whiskey.
Let's be honest. It's set out to do what it was meant to do. It's a 3-year-old whiskey.
Ooh.
It's easy to drink. It's got a famous name on it, so it's going to sell.
It's all about the cocktail raise here.
The only thing is, I'm sure the master distiller probably regrets citing his name to the outside of the barrel. But truthfully, it's done what it's done. It's put out an affordable Irish whiskey, 3 years old.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, it's all about the
It's not
cocktail
my
raise
favorite.
here, and Ray says it's healing.
Ray, tell us how many bottles of Irish whiskey you have. He's got.
Yeah, Ray's another Irish. He's
full
got
Irish.
a whole lot of.
Ray's the other resident Irish.
The other resident Irishman. So he says Teeling is a good peated. I
Teeling
probably
is
can't get it, but I
fantastic.
would love to try it.
Teeling is
Yeah,
fantastic. You
Teeling's
can get it at the LCBO.
Yeah.
Matt, do you know rye?
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah, so I've only had I've had a few ryes. I only have one bottle of rye because it's very expensive here. Because
what is she doing up?
I'll send you something, Matt. I'll send you a good Canadian whiskey. Okay.
Yeah. I'm actually myself and Rose. We're heading over to Chicago next month, middle of April. So I've got it all planned out. I can carry 7 bottles home. She can carry 7 bottles home. That's 14 bottles of whiskey for me. I have a few ryes on the list.
You're gonna get some Canadian rye.
You know, benchmark bourbon in America, that's like a couple of dollars a bottle. It's €30 here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
But you probably won't be able to. But if you can get the lot 4, so lot 40 is it's an Ontario Canadian rye, and they're making lots of. So this is actually not the regular. The label looks similar, but it's not the regular lot 40. This is the peated lot 40. It's not my favorite. It's one of the. But my favorite is the double oak. This one has got the black label on it. If you can find this one, this is an amazing rye.
Hey Matt, you did something to piss off Stefan.
Stefan, don't unsubscribe. Just looking in the chat, he's killing me here.
Hey Ray, we have Stefan has made it in as well. Everybody, that's pretty fantastic.
Hey, so Ray says he has about 13 bottles.
Ray, you got 13
Irish whiskey.
13 Irish whiskeys.
Ray is the man when it comes to Irish.
I think I've only got 4 at the moment. I drink them faster than I buy them.
Do you want to take a guess at how many bottles of Irish whiskey I've got?
Oh,
but you
okay. Let's make a guess, folks in the chat. Put a number.
How many
put a number down in
how
the
many
chat.
Irish whiskeys does Matt have?
Matt has of Irish whiskey, right? Put in the chat.
And the real question is, does Matt have more Irish whiskey than Trevor has rum?
No, that's not possible.
Trevor has more. The only person with more rum than Trevor is Steve the barman.
Steve the barman, yeah.
Steve the barman has a lot of rum.
He has to do it for YouTube. Trevor has no excuse.
Yeah.
No, Trevor has an excuse. He likes his rum, and he likes good rum. Good,
and he's also 50% pirate.
Yes.
Yes. He's required by law to have many rum bottles.
Trevor has
115. Are you kidding me?
Rum bottles.
Trevor? Is that your rum or is that Matt's Irish whiskey?
Matt has 35.
So we have 22, 23, 88. Are we hot or cold, Matt?
What are these numbers they're throwing out?
Probably reviewed about 50 bottles.
They're all.
How many bottles Matt has? Okay.
But are you counting finished bottles?
No, but current bottles I've got.
Okay,
I've got.
Bottles.
You know how many you have, Matt? Do you happen to know?
Okay, I've got about 145.
Wow. Jeez.
So Trevor was actually low on his.
Yeah.
And I have a whiskey cask, a part of a share of a whiskey cask. I have 1/8 of a whiskey cask that's currently aging. It's being aged in a bourbon barrel that used to hold maple syrup, so it should be really sweet. And that's aging. It'll be ready in about 7 years, and I should get about 40 bottles of that.
How does Rose feel about this?
As long as I'm paying for it with my own money.
Yeah, but does she get to have 115 pair of shoes?
Damn.
Yeah, but you know what? You're going to be able. That's going to be a very niche product that you're going to be able to sell, right? Especially
I'm
if it's something
thinking
that will sell fast, especially in a place like Ireland because it's so unique, right?
it's so unique. I think they only have one cask of it, and I have an eighth of that cask, so it'll be about 40 bottles at cask strength, so you've got 60% alcohol. There'll
What's
be some
that?
bottles.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah, and then some one or two bottles I'll give
Christine, by the
you.
way.
Bye, Christine.
Just check that. Bye, Christine. Love you, gal.
Bye, Christine.
She's one of the best.
She is.
She's one of the best.
You know, I think she's on par with Tim for like watching and commenting on every single video in the niche.
Stefan, let's not forget Stefan.
Stefan's good too.
Yeah.
Oh, and he has rum and rye. Wait, rum and rye and gin aged in ex maple barrel. That sounds lovely.
Are those individuals or
is that together?
Or are they all together?
This is like an infinity barrel. Just dump everything you got.
Maple syrup makes everything better.
It does.
It's the Canadian way.
Especially whiskey aged maple syrup.
Barrel here.
So, do you think it's safe to say that Trevor has the largest subscriber collection
What do you mean?
of bottles?
Probably.
Or Stefan and him maybe go neck to neck.
I don't know. I think Stefan has more bottles than the LCBO put together.
He like bootlegs bottles. He has bottles that you can't even get from LCBO.
All right, listen, Stefan and Trevor, tell us how many bottles you have, okay, guys? Let's do a little competition here.
All right.
Who's the king of Canada?
King of Canada.
Bruce.
Certainly, it's Bruce. Yes, I think it's Bruce.
Our Tiki Drinks at Home is here. All right.
Tiki.
Hey, Jeff, what's up, brother?
Yep.
How you doing, Jeff?
Stefan says no.
That was the wrong comment. I wanted Tiki's comment. There we go. How's it going, Jeff?
275.
275.
Oh, wow.
Ouch.
Who's this?
That's a nice collection.
I don't have that on my screen.
275.
Oh my god!
I'm like just in the vicinity of like 130 in terms of total bottles.
Yeah,
and I'm not counting my own mixes.
I think I just cracked 100. Just cracked 100. I don't know how Stefan beats that. That is insane.
That's crazy. All right. On that note, I think I need another drink.
Wait, did the Irishman make one?
I made a James Joyce as well.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool.
You had a James Joyce with me. All right, so I'm going to go with my second one.
I got to eat some pizza. I haven't eaten yet. I'm starving here.
Go and eat your pizza.
No ASMR, please.
It's not real pizza.
So
it's Domino's.
I wanted to use.
Why is it not a proper New York slice full of cheese, pepperoni? You see, he folded it in half correctly because you can tell he's from Brooklyn, right? He did it
wrong because their pizza is like this thin, so it can fold.
I'm the person that says you're from either 60-second cocktails or 62-second cocktails.
Yeah, you're usually 50% right.
I think if there's one channel that gets their name mixed up the most, it's got to be Vino from 62-second cocktails.
I never in my wildest imaginations would have thought my cocktail name would have been a problem.
And I understand.
You've been called not just your cocktail name, but also your name. You've been called Vinny, Vino,
everything. It's the weirdest fucking thing.
Hey, he's Uncle Vinny. He's going to teach us Utes how to do something.
Uncle Vinny from 62nd Street.
Yeah, bartender Vinny?
Bartender Vinny.
No. I loved when he said that. It was hysterical.
That's funny. All right.
So for my second one, tap out.
Did he tap out in terms of count?
Yeah, how many bottles he got.
No, Stefan.
Hey, Tim beats me. Tim's at 150. Technically, I haven't counted. I don't think I'm quite at 150. I'm probably 130.
I don't think Stefan wants to embarrass Trevor. That's what it is.
Stefan's in the 4 digits.
He's got to be in the 4 digits. He's got them. No. There's always something in one of his recipes I don't have.
Yeah.
Now remember, Trevor's clarifying it's only 125 different rum bottles.
No, but he's like 275.
Oh, Iceman's at 200.
Iceman can't cook. 200.
That is a respectable number right there. He stopped counting at 200, so
I don't have space for
Whoa, my man Matt is killing it. Hey, Matt, just to be clear, brother, we're not counting the little airplane bottles. Don't get too cocky.
Oh, we also don't count bitters. Right? You don't count bitters.
Not the size that matters.
Spirits, liqueurs, right. That's it. No bitters. and vodka doesn't count either because they're all the same.
Well, in that case, Tim only has like 6 bottles of liquor.
Yes, but he has Grey Goose and that pays for all of
it. Grey Goose is the biggest scam in the world.
So
it's
what are you
filtered more.
Well, what are you making?
All right, so I'm going to use poitín because it technically is not Irish. This is a Canadian poitín, but it's made in Irish style. It's a local distillery here in Ottawa that I'm just loving. They got a pot still and they make everything Irish style. They got Irish gin. They got they made the beer schnapps that I reviewed recently, but this poitín is fantastic. So I was looking for poitín recipes. There's not a lot. There's actually only 2 poitín cocktails on Difford's Guide. Like this is like the largest online repository of cocktails, and they've only got 2 poitín recipes, which is kind of sad. And there was one called Miss Moonshine, which I believe Andrew did on his channel a while ago. I wanted to make that one, but there was one. You need elderflower liqueur, which I'm out, and 2, you need to make a rosemary simple syrup, which I was just not going to do. so instead, the second one they have is called the Tara cocktail, like Tara's in Tara, the name, and it's 1.5 ounces of poitín, 1/2 ounce of falernum, and I think I have just enough left. I'm actually making a new batch in the moment, but just enough falernum for 1/2 ounce. Some lime juice, and then Bob's Abbott's bitters. I'm probably just gonna go with Ango. I have no idea what anyone knows
what bitters that I never heard of. Some annoying random shit like that.
Yeah, Difford's got some weird stuff. Bob's. Let me just click on it. I'm gonna click on it and see what it if it gives me like some. Bob's.
It's going to be an aromatic bitter with a certain amount of alcohol,
Abbott's?
And you're going to
it's
be
Bob's
able to
bitters, and
taste
it's in the brand name is Bob's Bitters, and the flavor is Abbott's. The hell is Abbott's?
Okay, it's
from Baltimore.
Liquor that's filtered through the robe of a monk to give you that proper advantage.
So is that okay? But I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go with Ango. You know what? I'm not gonna bother. I'm gonna go with Ango, and we're gonna call it a day. So let's make it. So 1.5 ounces of poitín. So poitín, for anyone watching doesn't know, this is basically Irish style moonshine. It's unaged whiskey. But what's interesting is that while Irish whiskey tends to be quite mild and palatable, this stuff is hardcore.
What are you talking about? The gunpowder poitín is pretty cool.
What do you mean? Well, it's like the flavor wise, it's pretty pungent. This is not for the
poitín will generally have that like a lot of grassy floral note because it's using the barley, so it's not been aged. It's just got a really. I always think of it kind of like almost like a cross between gin and vodka. Like it still has a bit of clean taste like vodka, but it's got the florally notes of
it's
the
got
gin.
That earthy, grassy notes.
Exactly.
And what I've noticed with this distillery, so they're a brand new distiller. They've only got 4 products out, all neutral spirits, and they use an Irish style pot still. And I've spoken with the distiller, and all 4 of their products have a very distinct, similar flavor notes, even though from one product to the next, there's no, other than the water, there's no ingredients that intermix. Like they made an eau de vie, which is like an unaged apple brandy.
Yeah.
We're picking up some background noise here.
That might be Vino's wife yelling at him.
That might be Vino,
that's
about the pot stills, because when you distill something in a pot still, you probably know this. I'm probably just preaching to the choir here.
Oh, like, it's for the audience.
When you get that copper sulfate, the sulfites in the whiskey, in any distilled spirit, that's kind of hard, horrible taste. It reacts with the copper in the Irish style copper pot stills, creates copper sulfite, and takes out all the bad notes, but leaves behind a kind of a noticeable pattern of like the chemical compounds that are left behind. So you get that kind of spicy, peppery note, and that's consistent across any people still in the pasta.
It's amazing. Like they're, the eau de vie, the gin, the beer schnapps, the poutine, they've all got this very distinct note that's throughout, and I like it. I've had a few people in my local. I have a local Ottawa cocktail group, and I promote their stuff a lot because I love it. And one person was like, "That's the worst gin I've ever had." I'm like, "It's probably the first copper pot still gin you've had." All right, so we've got the Pacinas in there. We need falernum, half an ounce.
Hello, this is Scarlett. This is your hands, and let's go on. Let's go get ready for bed.
So that's about the end of my homemade falernum, but I do have another batch on the way. This stuff has lasted over a year, which is fantastic because most I'm just promoting my own video here, but most homemade falernum uses fresh lime juice, and it's bad. It takes a long time to make, and it goes bad within like 2 weeks, which sucks. Yeah, this uses lime cordial instead of fresh limes, so this has been good for over a year, and it's fantastic.
Could you use super juice from a lime in it?
You probably could. That's interesting. I didn't know about super juice back then. You'd have to adjust for sugar because I'm using lime cordial, which has a sugar component. But yeah, you could probably use the lime super juice and then adjust with sugar and come up with the same thing. That's actually a great point.
You might have an issue, and the reason I say that the cordial doesn't actually normally have any natural lime juice in it, and it's the natural lime juice that oxidizes and starts to give you those metallic tastes.
But it's not. But
starts oxidizing.
But it might change in flavor a bit. But the problem with the fresh falernum is not just the oxidizing; it literally molds after like everyone I've seen make it say like. I remember the first time ever it was Greg from How to Drink. He said that he made his and it molded within like 2 weeks.
You gotta sterilize your bottles.
Maybe he didn't sterilize his bottles. All right, half an ounce of lime juice, lime super juice, and then 2 ounces of. We're not using Bob's bitters. We're using good old Angostura bitters. All right, let's get some ice in here. So this is again the Tara cocktail. It is a Pachin cocktail. As it doesn't get much simpler than that. Pachin, falernum, lime juice, bitters.
Wait, did you guys see Stefan's number?
What's that?
Did you see Stefan's number of booze?
No.
Oh yeah.
312 bottles.
Did he just go count that right now?
And 105
bottles of bitters.
105 bottles of bitters, mother. God damn.
He has as much bitters as I have bottles of alcohol. Jesus.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Stefan,
but he's not bitter about it.
Yeah.
Okay,
on that, Stefan, on that note, what is your strangest bitters flavors? Because you got to have some weird ones in there.
Yeah, it's probably like April fig mole or something like that. It's the flavor of new spring combined with winter and the dregs of autumn all together. So in other words,
he wants to know how many bottles of Amaro does everybody have?
Amaro, that's a good idea. They're up there. I can count them.
Amaro bottles.
I think I made. So I made last summer. I made Uncle Pete's. He did a video with, on the 8. Was it the 8 Amaro? Was it a Sazerac? 8 Amaro.
Yeah, it was a Sazerac. Yeah,
8 Amaro Sazerac, which was really good, and I had just enough. So at the time, I don't think I bought any new ones. So I must have 8. not count because I don't think I used Campari in it.
Oh, but are we counting Campari?
Or Campari and Aperol. I don't think I used those. So that,
but they are Amaros.
Like, you're counting Campari.
They are Amaros, but I don't think I used them in that video, in that drink. I may have used one actually. So anyways, I have 8 or 9.
Yeah, I have 8. Even though there's things that are not Amaro that are technically Amaro, like today's video, Jägermeister.
Yeah, Jaeger is technically an Amaro.
Oh, I forgot about that.
It's not Italian, but it's an
still Amaro.
Yeah, it's an Amaro.
It's an aperitivo. So actually, I have, if you think about 9, 10, 9. Yeah, 9.
I definitely want more of them though. I'm really.
I think I have, like, with the exception of one, maybe. I think I have every Amaro that is available here. So I'm tapped out.
The problem is here, there's too many. I went to an Amaro bar. The whole wall was Amaro.
Wow.
Did you know?
I mean, Uncle Pete is one guy who does a lot of Amaro videos, and he's always got one that I'm just like, damn, I wish I had that. My favorite new one, which I got because of one of Uncle Pete's videos, is Zuka. I love Zuka.
Yeah.
It's almost got like a cola taste to it, like a Coca-Cola taste.
Pete has just a weird.
It's just
a lot of weird bottles though.
It's such a strange but amazing. I made a in January I did a video on hot cocktails, and one of them was the I called it the hot Amari because I use more than one, but some people call it hot Amaro, some people call it Amaro Caldo, but it's essentially just you mix 1 or 2 Amaros and a little bit of lemon juice, and then hot water, and depending on the ones you use, I used I believe it was Chinar and Azuka, and oh wow, so good, such a good combo.
So a couple weeks ago, Uncle Pete did Mexican rums, which I never had before, and that looked really good.
Mexican rums, interesting.
Yeah, any of you guys, Trevor?
Note on the just quickly tasting notes on this one, the Tara cocktail. You kind of get up front, you get the citrus and the falernum, so those like island tropical spices, and then that poutine just kicks in and rides it out to the end. That's really good.
Can I ask Rob, what's the strength, the ABV on that poutine?
45.
45.
Saffron, mango, big crabberry, ghost pepper.
I actually never looked.
Violet, sumac, evergreen. So basically, Stefan has bitters that are like just literally pulled off of plants.
Ghost peppers.
Ghost you walked through somebody's garden and created stuff.
It's like just random shit. Cool. Like I'm just gonna make it. I'm gonna make like an adobo.
Chinar's good.
I'm with you. Chinar's the best.
I was kind of hoping he'd have something just the most like absurd, like tree sap or like horse meat bitters.
Yes, sumac or evergreen.
Where's the horse meat bitters? Prime rib bitters. Okay, where's the prime rib bitters?
Now that I'd buy. Prime rib. Hey,
I'm gonna make the Dubliner, Matt.
Yeah.
The Dubliner.
Have you ever tried Beatty's poutine, Rob?
This is the first poutine I've had, and
this is their very first batch from a good old year or so ago. It was given to me by a friend of mine. So
Oh, Beatty's, yes. Okay, that was actually when I was looking to buy a poutine from local. The two I was Beatty's and Ogham. I decided to go Ogham because they're in my neighborhood, literally. But Beatty's was the other one I was looking at.
I don't want to be Nathan here. Like no one wants to be a Nathan, but it's not pronounced Ogham. It's pronounced Ogham. If you think of the name,
they're probably like every time I make a video, they're like, "Oh my god, this guy's."
Who invited Matt? Who invited Matt?
If you think of the name Owen, just with an M at the end, Owen.
Owen. Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to give them.
I want to be Nathan and comment on your video and be like, "What?"
No. These guys are. I'm gonna have to. I'm going to. They've invited me to the distillery a bunch of times, and I just
go for it.
I'm going. I've been so busy, but I got to go, and they're probably gonna kick my ass for mispronouncing their name in all my videos.
Hey, Tim, I'm gonna agree. You're fired here tomorrow, Tim.
That's funny.
While we're waiting for Vino to
Mr. Valentino.
I'm
Trevor.
While we're waiting for our cousin Vinny here, what was the name of the drink that you made this week? Because that's the one I'm going to make.
Coming me down here.
Round of applause for Trevor. Round of applause.
Settle down.
I think with Matt's like, I'm going to show these guys.
Barbecue. Oh, he does have barbecue bitters, but I want prime rib bitters.
Barbecue bitters, wow.
That would sound like mesquite probably, or apple.
I'd be good with some mezcal or something like that, like in a margarita probably,
That would go well with here. What do I have? I've got I don't have 100 bottles, but I've got lavender, I've got grapefruit, I've got chocolate, got maple walnut, I've got whiskey smoke, ginger, mole, pepper, honey, tiki, cardamom, coffee. This one's probably my fanciest. Forest fire bitters. Although I'm kind of disappointed.
Are they from Alberta?
What's that?
Are they from Alberta?
It's from the The company is Wild Muskoka.
Trevor and I having a little conversation here. He made the right choice blocking me.
I was blocking Nate before it was a thing.
Matt, cheers, my brother.
Vieux carré. Vieux carré.
It is not vieux carré.
It is vieux carré.
No, it's vieux.
Mighty fine cocktail.
What was that?
Vieux carré. Vieux.
I want to hear, what does Vino think of the Dubliner?
Mighty fine cocktail.
You got to say it in your best like leprechaun voice.
Oh, we need good cocktail.
I knew it. That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
I'm so disappointed that Matt doesn't have one of those accents. I thought Matt was English for a second.
Those are fighting words, Vinny. Those are fighting words.
Hold on a second.
He's gonna break below. He's gonna break that barrier above and climb into your screen.
Leprechaun fight. You said that? Y'all want to fight, do ya? Y'all want to fight, do ya?
View Carey. It's not View Carey. It's not Jim Carrey's brother. View.
View Carey.
That's you know the Notre Dame leprechaun.
The Fighting Irish.
Notre Dame.
Oh, cha. All right. Give us some notes on that Dubliner.
What's that?
Give us some notes on that Dubliner.
Banging.
Give us some better notes.
It's like a Manhattan with a little bit of extra citrusy notes from the Grand Marnier. It's super smooth, super easy to drink, man. I love it. You got some cherry notes, a little bit of chocolate there. It's great, man. It's awesome.
Nice.
Did you use the Tullamore Dew?
That'll be on my black book from now on. What's that?
Did you use the Tullamore Dew as well for the rum cast for that?
No, but this I use Jameson. I went classic.
Yes.
I went classic.
Nice.
I'm gonna do Rob's version of an Irish last word.
Ooh.
However,
the ye final saying?
Yeah, ye final saying. However, what I'm using is some Beatty's Poitiers, which is a reputation of Irish moonshine. And I know it says I know my eyes are bad, but it says 40%, but it smells like pure ethanol punching me in the face. He does. I don't have a green Curacao, but I will use 3/4 of an ounce of my mini bottle of triple sec here.
It's all good.
Okay.
I think I said that in the video. It's like if you don't have that, use triple sec. If you want it to be off, you can put a few drops of green coloring in the triple sec.
I got
green chartreuse will make it somewhat green, yeah.
So this is a high ABV, which Rob did not bother to tell anybody.
He's got the Pachin and the green chartreuse. Yeah, but that's the last word. I mean, it's already high ABV.
Oh yeah, and then you're going to have the 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice, right? So, Did you see that? Absolutely.
That was a pretty cool move.
That was a fantastic. Except for
that's what's amazing. I mean, I love. I think Vino talked about that in his live stream. Not his live stream, but his collab with Joel. Talking about how like the last word, it's such a well balanced cocktail, and it's so easy to kind of riff on. You know.
Oh my god.
Oh no, absolutely.
It is. I mean,
that's the joy about.
I've not had a bad last word riff. What's Matt laughing at over here?
Trevor's on a roll here.
Drink for drink, because he is cutting us all down to size.
Okay, I need to take the lumberjack out.
Matt the Irish, Rob the French, Vino the New Yorker,
of me chopping
Dave the lumberjack.
Do you want me to chop wood? Like, come on. If you want me to chop wood, Rob,
you should just start a video one day with like chopping wood right on the bar.
I mean, Dave could use one of those cocktail smokers where he chops the wood to put on the smoker.
Yeah.
I would do that.
Here's that Tim. Green chartreuse. I put that shit on everything.
The only thing that would probably make this better is a little bit of bartender's ketchup. The good old-fashioned elderflower liqueur. That would actually give you a little bit of sweetness.
I'm not the biggest fan of elderflower. It's good, but I don't think it goes on everything.
It's nice though. It is. I mean,
it's nice. It's very nice, but it can. I find it can easily overpower a drink. It's kind of like absinthe that way, you know. Not quite as much as absinthe.
No, it's
well, I wouldn't. I'm not comparing it in taste. I'm comparing it in the sense that it can easily overpower. You know.
Yeah, it's a very strong.
The thing about elderflower is if you use too much of it, sure, but absinthe, no matter how much you use of it,
yeah,
that's the difference.
Absinthe, you put 2 dashes, and you're like, too much.
You're gonna hate my next drink because it has elderflower in it.
I don't hate elderflower. I just find it's overrated.
I'm only going to use a bit of it though.
There we go.
It's overrated, but it's not because it's like gets a lot of shit.
Dave,
I mean, Carl loves it. Carl's the kind of guy who's like, you add that to everything, it makes it better.
But Carl likes sweet cocktails. When he makes the originals, they're always very sweet.
Okay, so some notes on this. Really well balanced. You don't get an ethanol punch in your face. In fact, even the chartreuse is blended really, really well. It all works really well with the lime juice. In fact, the lime comes out a little bit stronger. You get the floral notes from the chartreuse, and you get subtle orange hints. So it's a stronger ABV cocktail. It's definitely a sipper, something I would probably do after a meal because it's also refreshing to drink, clears your mouth, clears your taste. You know, Rob, this is pretty good.
Well, thank you.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, especially because you got the triple sec and the lime juice. So that's citrus.
Absolutely,
it's pretty strong in citrus. It kind of it buries that strong ethanol taste. But what I loved about it was the really clear evolution. Like it starts off chartreuse herbal and then blends into that earthy, grassy poutine, and it's like you feel it happening in your mouth. Like, oh, look at that.
And that's going to be the difference between the type of poutine you have because this doesn't come out earthy and grassy at all. You don't get that taste of grass. I don't taste like I'm drinking a hayfield with this, right? Like, let's be honest. If I was tasted like I was drinking a hayfield, I'd be drinking chamomile tea. That's like having a hayfield with a couple of flowers in it. Come on. Good for your stomach, but really nice. It's light to drink and light in taste, which absolutely beautiful sipper.
Well, what Trevor just said right now is 100% true, by the way.
You're talking about the elderflower with honey?
Elderflower and honey together. That's money right there, bro.
So like literally, isn't that like super sweet?
No, it's great for like brunch, summer, stuff like that. So good, man. That's really good in champagne.
I could see passion fruit and Campari. I could see that being a nice
That's
match.
Another great combination, yeah.
Campari.
My next drink now is all right, gents.
Do it.
So I'm going to make an Irish Maid. So it's kind of like a riff on a whiskey sour.
Irish Maid.
Irish Maid. I think it's a really nice drink.
I've heard of that
really
one.
Refreshing.
Made it.
So
you made that, right, Matt? Not too long ago you made it, right?
I made it a couple weeks ago, but it's really nice. So it's basically a riff on a whiskey sour where
it's got cucumber in it.
Yeah, you sub out some of the lime and some of the sugar for an elderflower liqueur, and you add a bit of cucumber. Completely changes the drink. So, 2 bits of cucumber in there, muddle them down just a bit, just to get some of the juices. And like, it's weird. Like, you use a lot of cucumber in this. Like 2 slices is a lot, and you will get a lot of flavor. But because you got the elderflower, which, as we discussed, overpowers a lot, and because you got the lemon juice, it actually does balance it out pretty well. So I've got there where's my mixer? So I went in with 2 slices of cucumber. Going to go in with 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice, 3/4 of an ounce of sugar syrup, and then 2 ounces of whiskey. So normally for whiskey sour, I always go 2-2-1. So I always go 2-2-1 essentially. So 2 parts whiskey, 1 part lemon, 1 part sugar. So I'm going to go in with my 2 ounces of whiskey. But because I went in with 3/4 of an ounce of lemon and 3/4 of an ounce of sugar, I'm going to go in with 1/2 ounce of my Monin, actually, brand elderflower liqueur. So this is 20%. It's not Saint Germain, but it is quite a nice liqueur still.
What's the ABV of Saint Germain?
I don't know actually off the top of my head. What?
I feel like it's less than 20. But
here, I'll let you know. Actually, I got it right here.
20.
Oh, it is 20. There we go.
20 is about an average for a lot of liqueurs.
I guess. Well, it is. Yeah.
I mean, anything under 15, I keep in the fridge. That's how I knew it was not. At least it was under 15.
Trevor,
the
have a good
whiskey
night.
is Velvet Cap whiskey, which is a really nice, smooth Irish whiskey. It's coming in at 40%. It's aged in bourbon, port, and stouted rye casks. These are former rye whiskey casks that held some stout whiskey, stout beer. So it's going to round it out, make it nice and smooth, make it nice and rich, and just basically makes a really nice cocktail. A really nice whiskey. So I'm going to shake this down. While I'm shaking this down, pop in the chat. You're not allowed to vote for your own cocktail. What was your favorite cocktail from the Drunken Shamrock 2022 hashtag that you've seen?
Besides Vino, what's your favorite?
Let us know.
Great whiskey. Look at the shake on
that. Is the coolest sound your shake is making.
He's got some serious effort.
It sounds like there's a stop in your shaker.
It's making like a beat. Like your shaker's beatboxing.
I was about to do my Drunken Shamrock rap.
Well, Trevor Rose is leaving everybody.
Top of the morning, rise and shine is the first.
See you, Trevor.
See you, Trevor.
I'll take it from here. Okay, so Stefan, how many have you had?
No, he's not leaving. He's not leaving.
Oh, Trevor's got lots of time. He doesn't have
He
to.
said he can't drink too much because he's working tomorrow.
Yeah.
No. He's got a job operating machinery. Now, it's actually, interestingly enough, his shake is closest to one of the pro shakes I've seen, and I agree with Jeff there. I've never quite managed the pro shake, although I seem to now be starting to do this weird
it's the up and down
cycle thing.
No, he has the Caribbean Andy shake.
Well, it's the up and down. That's the one. But then there's the Kevin shake, which is the Japanese apparently, I think, where it's just you do the up and down, but you also move your elbows,
you kind of
so
do
get like a
thing like this.
3-point
So
rotation.
it's a thing like this.
It's almost like a motion, like a rotation.
Well, it's up and down and elbows like this.
Yeah,
apparently.
I'm not in any way a professional at anything at all. The way I shake is up, down, up, down.
Well, I think that's a pro shake right there.
Or you can do the Vino.
The shake weight.
The shake weight?
Do the Vino, baby. One arm. I can't imagine sitting home doing all this shit like, hey, look at me, ma.
So
you can stay, Trevor. You can
notes
stay.
on this if anyone's interested.
Yes.
So it does have a big whack of cucumber coming off it, especially because you garnish it with a cucumber slice. So as you're bringing up, you get that kind of the watery cucumber blast coming up, hitting you in the face. But then as soon as you taste it, you get the elderflower, the lemon, the sugar, and underneath it all, you got the whiskey. Because I've used an Irish whiskey, it's going to be kind of fading more into the back. It's not going to be spicy like a rye. It's not going to be really rich like a bourbon. It's just going to be a nice baseline of sweetness. I think it works really well. Just like the bit of lemon, the bit of elderflower, bit of sugar, and then the cucumber kind of sitting on top, making it a bit fresher, making it a bit lighter. It's just a really nice drink.
Does the cucumber cool it down nicely and just kind of shorten the length of the drink versus?
I wonder.
Fresh earthiness to it.
How would that taste if instead of cucumber you used a pickle?
Pickle.
Pickled cucumber.
Actually, you know what? Depends on the type of pickle.
I'm very
because
curious.
It's important. You wouldn't get that. You'd get is the garlic. You'd get that brine.
Well, you don't have to have garlic.
It doesn't have to be garlicky.
It doesn't have to be garlic. Just be like a vinegar, like a acidic.
Well, then you're just putting vinegar in there.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you could pull back on the citrus and.
What, you like bland, boring?
It's like
pickles?
a shrub, pickle
you
shrub.
Like bland and boring pickles. Come on, have proper flavor to your pickles.
Well, yeah, but I'm not.
Your pickles.
This
if
pickle is not
pickle
just meant
in your
to.
mouth, don't make it bland and boring.
Who's next?
Anyways, we're going off on a tangent here.
I think David's next. No.
David,
Rob, you're next. We went around already.
I've done two.
Yeah, so
Vino, how much have you had to drink, my man?
Okay, Vino cheats, just so you know.
How do I cheat?
How does
He
Vino
always seems to be very sober.
Hey, listen, I've been.
It's when we're not looking. You like dumps his drink.
And he claims his Puerto Rico blood. He has all the drinks off to the side.
My drinks are right here.
He drinks them all.
Dave, it's much easier than that.
Empty.
There's actually no alcohol in those bottles. He's replaced it with ginger ale. So he's just pouring flat ginger ale in.
For the camera, all right? For the camera. You guys saw that. Hey, Vino don't cheat. Vino's been in the liquor business for 15 years. I know what I'm doing here.
So, Rob.
Yep.
You need to make a pickleback.
What is a pickleback?
Stefan said it. So
is that the? I think
you put.
That's the shot with the. Yeah, it's like Jameson and pickle juice, right, or something like that. Is that what that is?
Run down to the home bar, the little bar tray, and see if you got any pickle juice.
It's not in the bar tray. It's in the fridge next to the bar.
Okay, in the fridge.
I'll do it. All right. So what do we do? Okay, pickleback.
What do we need, Rob?
I'm not doing a pickleback. I hate pickles.
I'll try.
I don't even have pickle juice in my house. Like for when I get to 1,000 subs, I'm going to do 5-shot cocktails as is Rose, and pickleback is one of them. I'm going to buy pickle juice specially for that because I ain't got no pickles in this house.
You're Irish.
I love pickles.
Now, so you don't subscribe.
All right,
to
it's a pickleback shot.
Pickled item food in your house and at the bar.
I'm literally trying to find. Okay, someone tell me pickleback shot. What is it? I'm trying to find. I found one of these food blog websites where you have to scroll for 10 hours before finding the actual recipe.
Let me.
You talk about like their mother created this recipe 25. Oh yeah.
So it looks like it's just equal parts Irish whiskey, equal parts pickle juice. So, I guess that's it.
Yeah.
What's my part? I guess I'll do a half ounce each. I don't think I want to do an ounce of each.
Hold on.
This site is saying an ounce and a half, but I'm not doing
It's actually an ounce and a half and an ounce and a half.
Yeah, I'm not doing that much.
So basically,
that's not happening.
A proper shot.
Proper shot is 2 ounces or
2 ounces. So go an ounce and an ounce, and they're supposed to be done in separate drinks. So.
Is it really two? All right, go get.
Hey, what's it gonna take to get Trevor, Stefan, and Tim on the show?
I don't know, but I've been thinking about doing a live stream for everybody. What do you guys think?
Let's go, Dave. Let's go. As Trevor would say, LFG, baby. LFG. Let's do it, Dave. People want to hear it. They want to see the man with the beard, the lumberjack.
Well, remember.
Oh, wait, we lost Rob.
You'd be dead 25 years before the devil knows you're gone. That's proper Irish for you.
No, we lost Rob, or is Rob just...
No, he went to get pickle juice, no?
Rob ran for pickle juice because, we're going to give him a dare. He's going to drink it. I want to see if it goes terribly wrong.
I was thinking what I've got that I can make a shot cocktail from. Here.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
Give us like a really good Irish accent, like one of those like a good Dublin one.
Okay, a Dublin accent. Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I used to live in Japan for a while, so I've developed a really broad accent, really easy to understand.
Yeah, your accent is not very strong accent.
I have to work.
It's almost British standard, actually.
All right, so.
So
hold on, Rob. Hold on.
If I was speaking in proper Irish accent, so if I was speaking to my grandfather, he'd be from Cork, so I'd be speaking more like this. So I'd be more open, more longer with me vowels. It's a bit different. It's a bit more sing-songy, a bit more up and down. And your open vowels, your O's, your U's, your
you keep saying me too. You say me vowels, me this.
You say me. Yeah, me is a whole thing. You don't say
me Lucky Charms, me Jameson.
Yeah, don't be touching me Lucky Charms. But yeah,
I love that.
You use. They're a lot longer. So you have a lot, and you talk more with your hands, more like kind of almost like an Italian. But then when I moved to Japan and I worked there for a couple of years, I had to learn to speak in an American style accent because if I was teaching kids to speak with an Irish accent, they wouldn't be speaking correctly. So if I was teaching,
so you would teach them,
they actually sound like they were talking with good English.
Because if they're going into like a speaking test, so if they were to speak like me and say hot dog, that's wrong. They'd say hot dog, like an AH, hot dog, rather than hot dog with an O's. So yeah, I've developed a more broad, and since Rose is American, I've just kept the kind of broader, easier to understand.
American English is the most vernacular of all the English accents.
It is, because it's the original English accent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm going to argue that one. You've never been to PEI. They still speak English like it was the 1780s.
Have you ever been, Dave? Have you ever been? There's an island in Newfoundland where they speak Irish and French and stuff. There's like a Gaeltacht, a place where they speak Irish in Canada because Irish settlers moved across there, and on Newfoundland they speak Irish, a dialect of Irish.
Yep.
They speak their own dialect over there.
But it's a more original version because they used it.
Shoot the juice, shoot the whiskey. So juice first or whiskey first?
Juice first, then whiskey, because you're going to get the sharpness of the juice, then you're going to get that bite of the whiskey and the spice.
I feel like I would have done the opposite, but all right.
So Matt, do you know there's an island in the Caribbean where there's like a big Irish community and they speak with an Irish dialect, but it has a little bit of a Caribbean twang to it. It's amazing. I forget which island.
But I never. Yeah.
Yes, Trevor, they do.
I can figure it out. I'm just trying to get it right. But I'm also waiting for these guys to finish their little story. Then
okay, let's all stop talking. Let's look at Rob and let's look at his face.
Come on, Rob.
All right, so juice and then whiskey. So I'm going to go with Black Barrel Jameson.
Does he hold the juice in his mouth or he drinks it?
No, you drink it. You drink it. So you get that full.
It's not like what is it, a cement mixer?
Can he snort it instead?
Was it the strongman margarita, strongman tequila shot? You guys have seen that, right?
I am not drinking a cement mixer.
No, but the strongman tequila.
No.
It was from Jackass, Steve-O.
Yeah.
So like the tequila shot with the lick the salt and the lemon juice. So he what did he do again?
Trevor's gonna teach me how to speak.
He snorts the salt, takes a shot of tequila, and then squirts the lemon in his eye. That's what he called the strongman tequila shot.
Trevor is having a time in the comments. Can we just say?
All right, pickle juice.
Go. Woo-woo.
Rob has a more pronounced Canadian accent than David does.
Do I? Because I'm French.
That's because he's got a bit of the French twang. I'm from Ontario.
But he says a lot. You don't say a.
Yes, but none of us say a boot. That is a fabrication.
You don't say a boot. But
Dave says a boot. Dave says a boot.
A boot. I say a boat.
No Canadian ever said a boot unless they were saying pick up a boot and go outside.
Yeah, that's right. Or I'm gonna hit you with a boot.
I'm gonna hit you with a boot.
It is not a boot time. It's a boat.
It's all right. Well, so it's a boot time that I make this shot. So, okay, so juice and whiskey. Let's do it.
Okay.
It was good. I like pickles.
My fan.
That was underwhelming.
It was underwhelming. I mean, I feel like
let's talk about Matt's accent again.
I feel like together it would have made more sense. Like I don't know.
What's the best Irish accent you've ever heard? And I know it's very much
the leprechaun from The Simpsons. That just goes cha 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 cha.
No, but what's the best actor you've ever seen do an American actor do an Irish accent?
The best? Oh God,
Colin Farrell.
Isn't he Irish?
He's actually Irish. I'm kidding. He's actually Irish. Yeah. But who's the best American you've seen do an Irish accent?
Oh, I can't remember his name. There was one guy. He was in like a rom-com. I know it's stupid. My wife loves him, but he actually had a pretty decent accent. I love him. He's from America. I'll try and find him. I'll try and remember who he was. But
was he black?
No, okay. He was. It was like I have to find. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. But yeah, he had a decent Irish accent. I remember looking up. Oh, he's actually American. He's just good at accents, but a lot of bad Irish accents exist.
They're bad, right?
Oh yeah, mostly bad.
Oh, that Lucky Charms Irishman is the leprechaun is terrible.
You guys get offended by the Lucky Charms guy?
No,
because we don't actually see the Lucky Charms. Lucky Charms aren't sold here.
Oh,
so we don't see it.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't think the Irish get offended that easily.
We don't really get offended.
You know what would be really funny though? Like, if the Lucky Charms guy, the Lucky Charms guy in Ireland talks with an American accent. Hey, don't look at my Lucky Charms, pal.
Hey, yo, these are my Lucky Charms. I'm eating my
Lucky Charms, buddy.
I'm walking here.
I'm eating here.
I'm eating here. What are you doing?
So that's specifically like the New York or Lucky Charms.
But for a long time, everyone thought Americans talk like New Yorkers, though. Don't forget.
Yeah, because it was a very broad, very clean way of speaking. It's actually traveled through a lot of the media. Because if you watch a lot of American media, they all speak exactly the same type of broad accent.
Isn't it like a Midwestern accent? It's like the most generic, easy to understand accent.
Yeah,
it's close to Ontario, actually.
I forget what it's called. There's a name for it.
All right, guys, I am done with Pickleback. It was underwhelming, to be honest. I need another drink. Comment, chat folk. Give us some drinks to make. Who's up for another drink? You guys up for another drink?
Hell yeah.
Matt's like, you fucking ain't.
Well, we got a half an hour. We got time for one more drink. Absolutely.
Half an hour. Matt will be here till morning.
No,
Matt, it is morning.
11 o'clock.
It is morning. I'm going to wake up drunk. It's going to be great.
There you go. All right.
Hey, Rob, did you try what was it called?
I agree, Trevor. David Day from Braveheart.
Who's that? Who did he play in Braveheart?
Holy Joe. Hey, Rob, did you try the Holy Joe yet?
The Holy Joe. No, what's in that one?
Irish, sweet vermouth, apricot, and chinar.
Let me look it up. Oh, chinar.
I made it. It's one of the best drinks I've had in a long time. And even Chip made it after, and he was like, "Holy shit!"
Ounce and a half of whiskey, 3/4 sweet vermouth, half apricot, and quarter chinar. Is that correct?
Yeah. Everyone that's tried it after I made it said it's unbelievable.
All right, let me just. I might have to go upstairs for some ingredients, so I'm gonna just pause here and I'm gonna go get it.
Don't pause. Just okay. Pause.
I'm gonna go grab.
I'm not pausing the stream. I'm just pausing my video.
You pause the stream. I'll put my head down and take a nap. We're not doing that, and then that'll be it. So, Vino, how you doing? I haven't talked to you for a while. Oh, Vino, come on. All right. Well, I'll talk to the audience because the audience is the most important thing here. None of us drinkers are. None of us bartenders are. Tell me, what is your favorite Irish cocktail? And what is your favorite, or who is your favorite Irish actor, actress, and favorite Irish show?
That's a good one.
Because these are important questions. And while we're not being distracted, you, the viewer, can tell us exactly what's what.
My favorite Irish actor.
And by the way, Vino, they agree that was cold.
What?
That was cold. I was talking to you and you ignored me.
What did you say to me?
I asked you how you were doing.
Oh, shit, I didn't.
You were in your own little world staring at whatever it is you were doing.
I'm doing quite well, Rob. Dave, how are you?
I'm good. I wrote down a drink by the Manhattan Project. It's a small YouTube channel. I can't remember the name of it. It looks pretty good, actually.
Was it an Irish whiskey cocktail?
Yeah, it was.
The Manhattan Project, they've been doing really good stuff lately. They've been doing loads of shorts with loads of different fun because they originally started doing just Manhattans, but they've broadened out to do loads of stuff. It's really cool.
Is that a YouTube channel?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, the Manhattan Project.
They're just a small channel, and they literally got onto the hashtagged it yesterday. I think it was yesterday. And for the life of me, I can't remember the name of the drink, so bear with me while I go online and using the know-it-all Google.
I can't find them.
I think I put them into the Discord a while back. I can't remember, but yeah, they're really cool. They're really just small, but they're fun. They're just trying to make
the Manhattan Project.
Manhattan.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just trying out all the different types of bourbons and stuff they can make the best Manhattan.
Yeah, the problem is
there's a lot of fun new channels. Unfortunately, they aren't all exactly engaging with us, which is fine. I understand.
You gotta engage, guys. If you have a YouTube channel, you gotta engage, chat with people. That's the way. That's the way you get.
That's how we help each other grow. I mean, believe it or not, we spread each other. People watch, like Iceman found me, and now he's subscribed to all you guys.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It happens that easily.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's all about sharing the love. And this is what
even though me and Rob But that said, I gave you guys Iceman, but David, you still have not given us.
I gave you Tim.
No.
And Trevor.
What's his name? Olgarth.
No, Olgarth. You still
Olgarth.
haven't given us Olgarth.
Olgarth.
Okay. Olgarth I've known for years personally.
I don't care how long you known him. You make sure he subscribes.
Say, hey, Olgarth, you subscribe to those other guys, and you comment on their shit. And that's the way this works.
I'll tell him he's liable
See,
to
look at it.
beat
See,
me
look.
over the head.
Matt doesn't even. Matt is Iceman. He doesn't even like people, and he subscribes to you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Matt.
Well, if you guys are done talking, I think I might start off this cocktail.
Do it.
round.
Yeah, you start the next round. I got my. Oh, actually, I missed it.
So I'm going to make a shot cocktail. I'm going to make a tree sap. This is with a honey whiskey and lemon juice. Very simple.
Nice.
So this is the
What is it? What is it? What is it? I'm sorry.
The tree sap cocktail. So it's a shot cocktail.
Are you sure it's not Canadian?
But this is made with Whistler. So the Whistler is an Irish brand. They're small enough. It's a honey whiskey. It's not going to be as like artificial as like the Jack Daniel's honey because they use actual honey. So it gives this really nice, thick, dense sweetness to the cocktail. So any cocktail you
Matt,
use.
is it anything like Drambuie? Have you tried Drambuie?
Or Irish Mist?
Irish Mist. I've got Irish Mist, and it's like
Closer to Irish Mist, but
Okay.
without the spices. It's just whiskey and honey.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Irish Mist and Drambuie have
Okay.
some spices in there.
Yeah,
Yeah, this
Drambuie
is
has
the-
exactly. Drambuie has the spices.
Irish Mist and Drambuie are remarkably similar.
Yeah.
Really?
So I'm going to go in pretty much.
Now,
just with
I've actually tried both side by side and remarkably
And
similar.
how big's the difference price point?
Irish Mist is cheaper, much cheaper.
Drambuie's not cheap at all. bro.
Not cheap at all. No.
It's worth every sip, but it's
Favorite?
not cheap.
Yeah, it's not cheap. Yeah,
Okay.
Irish Mist, if I recall, is much cheaper.
While Matt's making his cocktail, I asked a question while two of you were away about favorite Irish actors and Irish cocktails. Now, we see Cillian Murphy from Trevor Rose, the Tipperary, Gabriel Burns, and nobody else has anything good to say about Irish actors at the moment. Probably because they just can't think of them.
Matt's got his beat going on again.
Hey,
My
Hey.
favorite is Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
I love Liam Neeson.
You ever see that clip from Family Guy where they make fun of Liam Neeson doing a cowboy accent? It's so funny.
okay, Liam Neeson and Sean Connery do the same thing. They speak in their native brogue because screw accents. Screw trying.
No,
to
but
do
no,
an
but Liam
accent for
Neeson
another
does
country.
tone it. If you watch Liam Neeson in interviews and then versus movies, he
tones
tones
it
it down.
That's because
it's
he has
it's much more.
skills.
It's much more British than Irish. And then because I didn't know he was Irish until I
Yeah,
saw him
he
in an
was.
interview. And I'm like, holy crap! Check out that accent.
Well, that's if you listen to
But what was that movie? He made a movie where he made a movie where he
McGregor.
played like an
Ewan
American.
McGregor or Henry Cavill. Is the moment they stop speaking in character, it's like
Yeah.
full.
But there's
full-
one movie, the movie that
that.
Family Guy was making fun of. I've seen it. I forget what it's called, but if anyone knows what it's called. It's where Liam Neeson played like literally a cowboy, and it's just so funny because he makes no attempt to do an American accent.
Wait, is he like a modern day cowboy? Because there was one where he was like,
No, he's
Like-
like on a horse.
oh, this is like back in the day. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
he's
right.
like literally on a horse.
There's one where he's
full-on
like a border
cowboy.
guard or something. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a recent one where it was kind of like he was like a rancher, and then he gets in trouble and he has to like kill a bunch. That was actually kind of fun. Not like a deep movie, but it was a fun shoot 'em up movie.
Yeah.
What do you
But
got
yeah.
there? What do you got there, Matt?
You
So
made a
this
shot,
is
eh?
my tree sap,
Teresa,
No,
So
what
you
is
can
it
take a
again?
quick-
Honey whiskey and what else?
Slunja.
honey whiskey and lemon juice, shaken down for a while so that it dilutes it a bit. But because the honey whiskey is only coming in at 30%, it's already starting kind of low.
Yeah.
So it's one part, simple as.
That sounds like pretty refreshing stuff.
Oh, it is.
Oh, A Million Ways to Die in the West, Peaky Blinders.
I
Peaky
never seen the
Blinders.
guy
Yeah.
lick his fingers after the
Hey,
shot.
What do you
that's
think
first.
of the
Is that
Boondock
an Irish
Saints?
thing?
Oh,
What?
Boondock Saints. That has like
Billy
Norman.
Real
Connolly.
good.
That's got Billy Connolly, who's absolutely fantastic.
The other guy's American.
Norman Reedus is in it, yeah.
Yeah. The other guy's American.
I think I'm not positive, but I think the one I'm talking about, the Liam Neeson cowboy, is Seraphim Falls with Pierce Brosnan.
That would be correct. That would be Trevor Rose got that piece of trivia correct.
Oh, he did. Look at that. He put there.
He did.
He wins the prize. What's the prize? Nobody knows.
But okay, but look it up though. If you haven't seen it, just YouTube Liam Neeson Family Guy cowboy. You'll see the scene. It's absolutely hilarious.
You know what's great too? Was it Cillian Murphy?
Yes.
What has he done other than like he was in the Batman movies? He was in
I think it's Peaky Blinders, no?
He's good.
He's been in a few things. He's been like you ever seen Sunshine?
I don't think I've seen that.
No, it's like a kind of a sci-fi sort of horror movie. He's been in a lot of stuff.
I've seen him in a lot of stuff, and I always liked him. He's good. He's got a very sinister stare. You know,
no, absolutely.
His eyes are very
you ever see Red Eye?
Yes. Yes.
Because he's very good at that because he looks. It's like
he's the bad guy now, right?
Movie. He's a bad guy in it. Yeah. So
I remember that.
He sits beside this woman on a plane, the red eye flight, and he's like, "I'm gonna kill you and your kid unless you do something for me." And she's trapped on the plane with him because he's not the most intimidating of guys. He's kind of slender. He's there, but he's like in that situation.
But
you can't do anything to him because he's got a knife. You know, he's dangerous. So he's like, kind of good at being sinister.
Yeah, Stefan, I agree with you. Willem Dafoe was amazing.
Willem Dafoe's the best.
Yes.
Boondock Saints is just an amazing movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Inception. Yes, of course. Sorry, Trevor.
He was in Inception.
Yeah,
he was the guy.
Inception for me was one of those films that was, I think I saw it late and my friends overhyped it, and when I finally saw it, I was like, it's all right.
It's a pretty good movie.
Like a friend of mine made it look like just the best movie in history, like fine, like no exceptions.
All
so
right,
when I finally saw it, I was like, yeah.
Everybody in the chat, what is your favorite movie? Gun to your head, favorite movie of all time. Gun to your head, you have to pick one. Favorite movie of all time.
Big Trouble in Little China.
What's yours, David?
Big Trouble in Little China.
That's your favorite movie of all time?
That is the one movie you could sit me down at any time in my life, and I will watch it and enjoy it.
I think that movie's fantastic. I love it. It's fun, super fun. How about you, Matt?
For me, I think Saving Private Ryan, the ensemble cast is amazing.
That's fantastic. That's the movie.
And I know a bunch of the extras from that because I used to be in the reserve army in Ireland, and the reservists are all the spare soldiers in the background. They're all army reservists, so I know a few of the guys in it.
I'm
a big World War II buff, and that's one of my favorite World War II.
It's the most accurate too of any.
When you watch it, you're like, oh, I know loads of these actors. Like Vin Diesel's in it, Jimmy Fallon's in it, isn't it?
Oh, okay, no.
Hold on, guys. Hold on, really quick. Hold on, guys, real quick. Jeff just said, if I tell you guys, I'll never live it down.
Okay, so Jeff, we got to know now. Your comment is up on screen, and now we have to know.
You have to tell us now.
Boise says Tremors.
I'm gonna go all nerd and say mine is Empire Strikes Back.
What's yours, Rob?
Empire Strikes Back.
That's a great, of course.
Oh, yes,
that movie was not written by Lucas. It was actually written by a science fiction author by the last name of White.
Story was written by Lucas.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Script was written.
It wasn't. The original story was not written by Lucas. He actually took her name out of the credits and changed a bunch of the script.
Jeff's about to tell us
that's been a big thing lately. That the lady finally is getting credit for it.
Yes,
it was a black woman, wasn't it? Like a black woman.
Yeah, she's absolutely a fantastic writer.
Yep. So Trevor's is It's a Wonderful Life, which is my favorite Christmas movie. Probably it's so damn good.
I don't like that one.
Oh, it's so good.
Okay. Also, can I say you? We're
still waiting on Jeff.
Whoa! Something's happened. Something's happened.
Matt, you just went sideways.
You've gone sideways.
Matt.
I haven't shown up on my screen here. I'll see what I've done.
Trevor, I think you are correct. I think it is The Sound of Music for Jeff as well, because he was a music major.
Oh, wait, it was The Sound of Music.
But yeah, Jeff, you got to say it. We got to see it.
Oh,
Moulin Rouge.
Actually, you know what?
No, Moulin Rouge is fantastic.
Runs and
That's a
hides.
movie. Oh,
Moulin Rouge
actually,
is a fantastic
runs and
film. What are
hides.
worried
do you
about?
guys know Stranger in Fiction with Will Ferrell?
Yes.
You're still
I
sideways.
like that movie. I really
Just a
do.
sec. Just a sec. I have to be able to see Matt for a second. Hold on. Let me lie on my bar.
Trevor said Jeff is a closet Julie Andrews fan.
There we go. You're good. You're good again, Matt.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Honestly, Stranger in Fiction. I like that movie, and I will defend it. That I like that movie.
Is that your pick?
It's not my
Okay, so
favorite movie.
If we're
but I like
getting on this point, which is your favorite?
Hold on.
Which is your favorite closet movie that you won't admit to liking?
Hold on, Matt. Did you say yours?
Yeah, so Saving Private Ryan is my number
Saving
one.
Private
But
Ryan,
like Stranger in Fiction is my guilty pleasure.
Okay. Which is it?
Saving Private Ryan is my number one. Yeah. But Stranger in Fiction is my guilty pleasure.
That's your guilty pleasure. Okay. Yeah. What's my
It's okay. Guilty pleasure or closet film? What's your favorite?
I don't know if Trevor
If
is
Moulin Rouge is Jeff's favorite movie, I wonder what his guilty pleasure is.
All right. So my favorite movie is Swingers, and my closet movie is probably Dirty Dancing.
Oh.
I mean, come on, bro. Nobody puts Baby in the corner.
I don't know what mine
The
is.
fact that you all knew that means you all watched it too.
Yeah.
Did you
I've
watch
seen it a couple
the Netflix?
Back to the Future is
story
not
on
closet,
that,
Trevor. Back to the Future is fantastic. Which one though?
No,
Okay,
Back to the Future is not closet. That's like that's a legit movie to watch.
But here's what I would say though. Back to the Future is not my favorite, but one of my top movies. I do love Back to the Future. But the closet fact would be that my favorite is Part 3.
oh, in the Wild West.
I love the friggin' like Wild West part of it. It's so fun.
Back to the Future is the first one is one of the best movies. It's so unbelievably fun. Yeah, so fun.
You want to know what's I think is a really good movie. It's very underrated, starring Ricardo Montalban.
Wrath of Khan.
Fantastic. Arguably the best Star Trek movie.
Oh, it is the best Star Trek. Absolutely.
I'm not a Star Trek guy at all.
Well, you don't have to be.
I don't have anything against it. I've never seen any of it, so I don't have like
Wrath. Yeah, but he would be the only my only critique of Wrath of Khan. It surprisingly does well as a standalone film.
Oh, absolutely.
But the kind of the problem is that audiences who just saw the movies don't know that Khan was a villain from the show.
Yeah, the first season.
And so him and Kirk had a history. Yeah, so leading into it, they're if you didn't know that, it's kind of like, well, why is
Ladies and gentlemen, they're about to nerd out. Ladies and gentlemen, they're about to nerd out.
But what's like, why is he such an adversary? But it's because they had this past in the TV show.
That's the same as the Borg.
It's true.
Right.
And that was lost, I think, in the more modern movies where Khan or Benedict Cumberbatch was just like introduced and
his Khan suck. I love Benedict Cumberbatch, but the new Star Treks are garbage.
You have to remember,
garbage.
He did what he was directed to do.
Yeah, of course.
So it's not necessarily his Khan. He just took what.
Well, and the marketing on that movie was terrible.
Khan. Yeah.
The marketing on that movie was terrible because like they literally spent the entire marketing going, no, it's not Khan. It's not Khan. He's not Khan. And then the movie came out, I was like, yeah, he's Khan.
Hey, Death Walker was a fantastic set of novels.
Which one?
Death Walker.
Dave, I know because I know you noticed Scott Hall.
He's a wrestler.
Well, Trevor, you know what? Whatever.
I'm talking about his death.
What?
I said, how shitty is it? He died.
Excuse me a second while I go look on the internet here.
You didn't know he died?
No, I've been kind of busy with my life.
2 days ago.
Oh, well, that explains it. That explains why I didn't know.
Yeah, man, Razor Ramon, man. I was a big fan. I used to love wrestling in the 80s, 90s.
When he was oozing machismo.
When he was Razor Ramon.
He actually had a massive drug problem, actually, towards the end of his career.
Yeah, I know. He went through some bad stuff.
but he did pull himself out. But my favorite character that he played, or his persona that he created, he actually created this. It wasn't a WWF gimmick. Was Razor Ramon, the Italian oozing machismo, and he had that razor's edge, and he actually fought in the first ladder match versus Shawn Michaels, which set the bar for ladder matches anywhere. And if I understand correctly, it was the only ladder in the building, and if they had broken that ladder, the match would have been over because there would have been no way to reach it. And we've just upset exactly. Rob. Rob has run away, and you know what? That's terrible that he's passed away.
Vino, we have a question for you. What rum would you use for a mojito as your go-to?
Yeah, I just showed on the screen. I'm partial to Puerto Rican rum, so Don Q would be my choice. Don Q Cristal. I'm actually going to Puerto Rico in April, and I'm going to be staying at the hotel where the pina colada was invented, which is the Carib Hilton. That's going to be fun. I'm going to try to go to the bar, have them make me a pina colada, and film the whole shebang. That'll be fun.
Sounds good.
Kind of like what Bonnie does, but one drink, 3 bars, where she goes to different bars and she experiments.
I love Bonnie's concept. I think it's so great. Hopefully she gets to do it more. I know she just did it finally for the first time in a while.
Yeah, the lockdown would have been hard for that.
Yeah.
All right, Vino, I'm gonna make that drink. What was it called again?
Holy Joe.
Holy Joe.
You got 15 minutes left.
Yeah, because my mic's about to die too. Just so you guys are aware.
I had to plug my camera in again.
All right, so 1.5 ounces of Irish whiskey. Which one are we using? Jameson or Tully?
For that one, I used Tully.
Candace, you should be able to get the Plantation 3-star. Where in Canada are you?
Yeah, Plantation 3-star is great. You can't go wrong.
Plantation 3 is pretty much everywhere, I think.
Yeah, but it depends on exactly where you live, right? And I think that's when the Candace should be able to get. But again, it'll depend on where in the land of snow and igloos that she's from.
All right, 3/4 ounce of sweet vermouth.
You know what it is? So like Puerto Rican rum and Cuban rum to a certain extent doesn't impart really any flavor. And for some people that they like that, especially in the mojito, because you're just getting the mint and you're getting
talking about like Bacardi.
Oh no, absolutely.
Bacardi doesn't, but it does though.
It's the vodka of rum.
If you can get it, if you the viewers can get it where you live. I know that Vino can't get this.
Half ounce apricot, homemade.
Vino likes to say, to rub the fact that we can't get Mr. Black here in Canada. However, he can't get Havana Club where he lives, and the Havana Club Smoky.
Yeah.
I will tell you,
it's good. I was kind of disappointed. I mean, I think just as a smoky, peaty whiskey lover, I was just a little disappointed.
Yeah, but that's because you're expecting the peat.
I was expecting like a smoke bomb, and
I can get
like
Havana
Scotch
Club
to be able to taste the feel. The literally
1/4 ounce Chinar.
David, I can get Havana Club.
Oh, but why is Chinar bottle so damn massive?
Dropped my ears.
All right.
Yeah, David, I was saying I can get Havana Club, but we get the Puerto Rican one here.
You get
it's made in Puerto Rico, like Bacardi.
Oh, really? What is?
That's fantastic.
Which ones do they make?
They make all the ones you get, except for the smoky one. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, that one was a special release. They made 2 special releases. There was the spiced Havana Club spiced rum, and Havana Club smoky.
I couldn't
Canada was outside of Cuba. Canada was the only place that got the smoky.
Oh, really?
And Great Britain, like Steve the barman, was the only place that got the spiced.
Yeah,
got it.
I'd love to try the spiced, but we don't have it.
Yeah, a lot of the Cuban liquor companies went over to Puerto Rico after the embargo.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And you know what? By now that embargo should be dead by now.
Is that not done yet?
You would think almost.
You can go. You can go to Cuba now, right?
Yeah, but they have to actually take a connecting flight. They cannot fly directly there, which is really
stupid. If you go to Cuba, are you allowed to bring stuff back? Like, are you allowed to bring cigars, rums, everything back?
No, you can bring anything to Cuba. Mind you, bring anything back.
Okay. Andrew Stir.
Are you going to do the Andrew pour as well?
I'll do the Andrew pour, of course. Where is Andrew? We haven't seen him in this live stream.
He's not fighting COVID no more, right? I think that's over with.
Was that?
He'd be Andrew would be still in bed at this point in time.
It's like almost noon.
He's usually having lunch right now.
Midnight. When we meet at midnight in the lounge, it's like noon for him.
Yeah, he's stuffing his face.
Hey, Matt, what time is it in Ireland?
It's 10 to 3 in the morning.
Fuck me, that's late.
See,
and I just poured myself some whiskey from my mini cask because I ain't going anywhere.
When's the last time you tried it?
The last time I tried it, I actually re-topped that up recently with a bottle of West Cork Black Cask, which is like the Jameson, a black barrel. So I tried something with that. So it's got some extra sweetness in it because it was starting to get a bit too much of the oak, a bit too much of that spice. So I rounded it out with the sweetness. Yeah.
All right. So after Rob tries his, I want you to try that.
All right, Holy Joe.
Holy Joe.
Holy Joe.
Holy Joe.
Holy Joe. We're just gonna keep doing that. All right. That's nice. I didn't think the quarter ounce of Chinar would do much, but it does quite a bit.
Dude, it gets better every sip.
It's sweeter than I would have thought, but then again, there is like sweet vermouth, apricot, and Chinar, which is kind of.
And you're using your homemade apricot, though, right?
I did.
Yeah, so that could change it a little bit too.
Yeah, of course. Although mine is on the I mean, it's still sweet, but it's not like I went for obviously the apricots do add some sweetness, but the sugar syrup is only a quarter of the ratio.
Yeah, see, I'm using the Luxardo, and that's 30 ABV.
Yeah, mine's probably slightly less than that.
Yeah.
Well, probably 25, 28. It's hard. Obviously, I can't. There's no way to test, right?
Hey, Rob,
Holy Joel.
What's the ratio,
okay.
What's the ratios?
Joel,
what's the ratios for through the mixing glass?
What do you mean? What's
through the mixing glow? Just asked you what the ratios were. He just said "Holy Joel?" ?
Holy Joel? Yeah, it's not a Holy Joel. Although I challenge you to make a Holy Joel. Make it your own. Okay, so this is 1.5 ounces of Irish whiskey, 3/4 ounce of sweet vermouth, 1/2 ounce of apricot brandy, and 1/4 ounce of Chinar.
Hey, Matt,
you could probably sub that for pretty much any kind of dark amount.
Sorry, Vino?
Tell us about your little thing there.
That's nice.
Oh, so yeah, this is just a shot of whiskey. It's the whiskey I took from here. So this was originally a 6-year-old single malt at 59.2% alcohol, which went into this cask. This cask used to hold sherry, like the sherry, everything in a sherry, and I topped up. I've been topping up with kind of other whiskeys as I go along. A bit of Jameson here, a bit of a West Cork Black Cask there, just kind of round it out, keep it going. So it's my little infinity barrel project. So instead of an infinity bottle, I have an infinity barrel. So that's what I'm doing.
I thought we lost David for a minute, but he just froze.
Yeah, I've got one. I haven't.
He was just standing still.
I used to do them at work all the time. I used to barrel age cocktails a lot.
Oh yeah, I haven't done it. I haven't done a cocktail in that, like an old fashioned where you just rely on a juice.
Speaking on the barrels,
I used to barrel age Manhattans a lot. God,
I've been following Andrew
barrel aged.
I've been following Andrew's experiments with his barrel a lot. Do you have to fill it?
Do you see? He aged a cocktail in a coconut. That was insane.
Yeah. So do
you have to
Rob,
fill
the first time you do it, you have to fill it with water.
Yeah.
So that it fully expands. If you look at this thing, there's like some looseness here.
Yeah.
Fill it with water so the wood expands, and then after that, you don't have to worry about filling.
Okay, so you can fill like a quarter and you're fine.
You can do it halfway, whatever.
Yeah.
Because
yours looks pretty huge. How big is yours, Matt?
Matt's is huge.
This is 4 liters. So this was filled with sherry, so I didn't have to worry about the whole expansion thing. It's just been filled the whole time. Now I do rotate it like this from time to time, just to get like different wood exposed rather than the bottom.
That's the way you should do it.
Yeah. Okay,
and
so
also you want to make sure that not only to get exposure
like
to the flavor, but you want to make sure that the other wood stays moist.
Yep.
for sure. Okay, so rotating makes sense. But I was just like, I was wondering, do you have to keep it full? So like, you know, if you're batching like an old fashioned, I'm not going to make 4 liters of old fashioned.
No.
That's ridiculous.
But just keep in mind, Rob, the less juice you have in there, the more it's going to impart onto the liquor.
That's true. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because
So
more.
like,
of it
I've
is
done it where I've
actually-
had like a Negroni,
more percentage of it
and
is
I didn't
touching
fill
the
it.
side.
Like I didn't fill it, and the Negroni was way too smoky, way too like too much. I picked up too much oakiness.
Can I ask you a question?
So, Trevor says that Havana 3 is his 12th favorite rum. I got to ask, how precise is this list?
Yeah, that is
and what are the 11? What are the 11 first ones? I know
you
that
got 125 rums. How could you be that precise?
I know that
Because he knows
Eldorado
what he
12
likes.
is among his highest. I would definitely say my number one, without a doubt, and I know you guys probably already know what I'm going to say, is Smith and Cross. How could that not be number one? Like that is.
I want a bottle. You never told me when it was available. You said you were gonna send me.
It's not. They like took it off. I'm so pissed off. Let me look at.
You
let me
had
look at
me
it now.
all interested. Now this is going to be my last drink of the night because my mic is about to die, and so 11 o'clock is going to have to be a hard stop, I think, or maybe 11:15.
Yes, Trevor. We want you to name all 11. Do it now.
However, I'm going to make for everybody something called an Irish Kilt.
An Irish Kill.
Irish Kilt. I made that on my channel once.
Did you?
Yeah. So this version, and I didn't look at Vino's version, is 2 ounces of an Irish whiskey. I used a little bit of Jameson, 2 ounces of Scotch, and I've used a nice monkey shoulder blended whiskey. Perfect. You need an ounce of a syrup. I used a cinnamon syrup just to give me a little bit of cinnamon notes, just to adjust it slightly. 3 dashes of some Dillon's orange bitters because, fantastic. An ounce of lemon juice. Shake the crap out of it and give it a good taste. When you can remember how to make the drink properly.
How much whiskey was in that? You used 2 types of whiskey.
Yes, 4 ounces of whiskey.
4 ounces.
Oh wait,
Wow.
you did 4 ounces.
Let's hear it.
Okay, we're
So
gonna.
my recipe is 2 Irish, 1 Scotch, 1 simple, 1 lemon, and 3 orange. Dash of
So
orange.
I've added the extra Scotch to really literally raise the kilt and show you I'm wearing nothing.
Raising the kilt.
What's that? What's the movie with Mel Gibson?
Braveheart.
Braveheart. We talked about that earlier.
That's the Scots, right? That's the Scottish.
Yeah, that's the Scottish part, right? But the Irish guy's winning him the fight because he brought over his island.
Hey Matt, let me ask you a question about the Scots. Do you guys have like a friendly rivalry like we have with Canada?
It's sort of, yeah. So Scotland and Ireland, way back when. So Scotland was originally colonized, for want of a better word, by Irish people. Like the word Scotty is the Roman word for Irish people.
Yeah,
Because they were like, the Irish over there, there's more Irish up there. God, there's Scotty everywhere. So that's kind of the word. So we're kind of way back when we were the same. Now we're different, obviously. But we're playing them in rugby tomorrow, and we are going to crush them.
Did you say rugby?
Rugby.
I love rugby.
Hey, Ann, how you doing?
I'm an All Blacks guy though.
And you're late. David's going to sleep soon.
Is an All Blacks guy. It's funny. Rose, my wife and I, we went to America. So it was a match.
It's the haka for me.
Ireland.
It's the haka for me.
Ireland versus America, and it was actually a pretty fun match.
Is
Because
America any
America,
good?
they're getting better at rugby.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah, they're not. They're still not like Japan is very good.
By the
Italy's
way,
very good.
that was a
South
try.
Africa obviously very good.
Try it
But
Dave,
America
Trevor wants you to do a 151 shot.
Hey Matt, David, what do you think about the cocktail?
You know what? For 4 ounces,
Jesus, I'm still getting over that 4 ounces.
4 ounces of whiskey, it's actually really good. You see, you're supposed to put regular simple syrup in. I put a cinnamon simple syrup in with the lemon
you
juice.
riffed it. You riffed it.
I had modified it slightly.
Also called riff.
Riff, variation. I can't follow direction.
Yeah.
I can, but I'm washing all my simple syrup bottles are actually in the wash upstairs. It's actually really, really good. The lemon is there. You get the sweetness from the simple syrup, but it's not overpoweringly sweet. You actually, interestingly enough, Jameson is very light and floral compared to your Monkey Shoulder, which is a combination of 3 Speyside whiskeys. So you get a lighter mixing whiskey with this, and that's whiskey without the E.
How do you like Monkey Shoulder?
I
feel like I find a lot of like US based YouTubers really recommend it as a mixing whiskey.
They do.
But here in Canada, it's so expensive for mixing Scotch. I don't want to spend $50-$60.
The reason why it was because it was specifically designed as a mixing Scotch to make it a little bit less harsh on because Scotch for some people can be harsh and overpoweringly strong, but it's a great way to introduce them. Now, however,
this is my favorite mixing Scotch, Isla Mist.
Yeah.
So it's an Isla. Well, it's a blended, but it's a blended Isla. So it's got some Lafroig in there. So it's got that smoky profile, not overpowering, but still fairly smoky. And it's like $30.
This is my favorite.
This is amazing.
I find Monkey Shoulder is almost a bit like Rowan Co. Irish whiskey. You know, it's designed for mixing, but it can be a bit expensive.
Yeah, absolutely, it can be. Now, a lot of people will also suggest instead of using Monkey Shoulder, you could use the Dewar's 12-year-old. That's a blended Scotch as well. That works really, really good for cocktails as well. Another one that works good.
Famous Grouse. I don't like Famous Grouse.
However, their original smoky grouse was much better than the new version. I have a bottle of the new version right here, the Famous Grouse Smoky. But they changed the bottle, but they also changed the
it's Isla.
The way
it's pronounced Isla, not Islay.
I didn't say Islay.
Anne is.
I did not say Islay. Where did I say Islay?
Anne is telling me that it's wrong, but I said it right.
No, it is Isla. It's just pronounced.
It's Isla.
Spelled ISLA. So it's Isla.
Normally, this wouldn't be my favorite.
From the Isla region of Scotland.
And that's one thing that's bugged me. Like a bunch of the big YouTubers.
Trevor?
Like, what's his name?
Leandro.
He pronounced it Islay at one point, and
I know, Rob. Isn't it horrible when people mispronounce
things? It's horrible.
It's
the worst.
Before I finish this really good drink,
I'm still. How did you pronounce? It's Owen.
Owen. The name Owen. Owen, but with an M.
Owen. Okay, I'm gonna have to apologize to those guys.
Yeah, but because dealing with Rowan Co whiskey can be quite expensive, like with the Monkey Shoulder. Like if you want to go for a cheaper Irish whiskey for mixing, Teeling is great. It should be about between $5 and $10, depending where you are. Cheaper, but it's just as good for mixing. It has a nice rum cask, nice and sweet, nice and rich, but it's a bit cheaper than Rowan Co. And it actually comes in at 46%, so it has more presence.
I really like the Teeling. And for an Irish whiskey, or sorry, I should say an Irish coffee, it's fantastic.
Oh, it is, yeah.
You put the Teeling in there, a little bit of brown sugar, a little bit of that cream, sprinkle of cinnamon on.
Where do you get Teeling? Is Teeling available at LCBO?
Yes.
Is it? I don't think I've seen it.
I haven't seen it for a while, but
I don't even know what the bottle looks like. Okay, I'm gonna.
Good night, Trevor. I'm going to sleep very soon.
Good night, Trevor. For my Irish coffees, I use a stout, and a beer. I use that instead of water to make a brown sugar syrup.
Oh,
absolutely amazing!
Amazing.
Yeah,
I do it.
Sorry,
I wouldn't argue.
I am not drunk, Stefan.
Not yet, but
I can say Isla.
Wait, am I pronouncing Vucare wrong?
Yes, you are.
Yes,
it's Vieux Carré.
There's no R.
Rob. Oh, Jesus, Rob.
That's how it's spelled. That's it.
Oh, Jesus.
But it is
Vieux.
Vieux Carré.
There's no R.
Vieux Carré.
No,
Vieux Carré. Say that. Not Vu. It's not Vu.
Oh, here we go. Now Dave is in it too now. Here we go.
I will say, I feel a little bit redeemed. If you guys can't even agree on something, I feel a little redeemed.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like the Irish and Scottish, like the those those words just ridiculous. I remember the first time I worked with a colleague named Siobhan.
Siobhan, one of my favorite things for Rose was to get her to show her a word, a name, and be like, say that name, and she's like, I can't.
So Rob, let me ask you a question, Rob. How do you say French brandy, cognac? How do you say it?
Cognac.
Cognac.
How come that's the only French word you don't overdo it with?
Because there's no overdoing. All it is a difference in. That would just be a difference in like accent.
That's like
Courvoisier.
No, that's correct. It's Courvoisier. Absolutely.
But I'm just looking at the chat.
Guys, tell me, Rob,
are having a great time.
No, but like the difference between like cognac and French cognac, it's the same thing. Whether I try to like, I'm literally struggling to dial in the French accent.
Yeah, but Courvoisier, right? Like say Courvoisier.
But when you're saying English way Courvoisier, you're basically just trying to do the French in an English accent.
No, if I was trying to do the French accent, I would do Courvoisier.
No, I'm not saying you're trying to do the accent.
He would be biting his thumb at you and spitting on you.
That's like a French person trying to say Manhattan, going Manhattan. like, I wouldn't call it that. It's a Manhattan.
Oh, it's the best. Wait, so Rob, so how come you and Dave don't have the same problem? Like Dave doesn't overdo it with the French.
I'm a mouse.
Okay,
I grew up French. I went to French school.
See, he went to French school that gave him Quebecois French.
No. There's Ontario. Is it Franco-Ontarien? We got our own thing going.
No, ne parle français. On peut. So
these guys have nothing, by the way, I'll say Vino. These guys have nothing on actual French people. I work with French people.
No, but hey, Matt, can you do Gaelic?
Oh yeah, I speak Irish. I speak Irish, English, French, and a bit of German.
Okay. So say 60-second cocktails is the best YouTube channel. Say it in Gaelic.
Oh, to charge.
Oh. No, he's not going to say that. He's going to say the Whiskey Nerd is the best cocktail channel.
Well, that's how you say it.
I'll try to get a soundbite out of him.
But yeah, no, I speak a few.
I don't want to hear some Gaelic.
The French lads in my office, they speak very aggressive French, and they will. But
Rob, give me Matt. Give me like I love whiskey.
Rob has the glow one. The what?
What does that mean?
Oh my god! He keeps trying to speak French in my head. Hang on, I'm a little bit.
He's not a toy, Vino.
So interestingly enough, French from continental.
Ishkavaha is even dumb. So you'd say like so you don't say like I love something. It's not like an active verb. It's more like something is something I love. So you say Ishkavaha, so whiskey, is even dumb. So whiskey is something I love.
Nice.
So Ishkavaha is even dumb. Ishkavaha. So Ishkavaha is an aquavitae, water of life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then Ishkavaha.
So cool.
How do you pronounce that?
Ishkavaha.
I thought because I thought it was like Ushkabe, but I guess I got that all wrong.
That's what's good.
I love that the Irish have a whole other
so Scottish people speak an Irish, a Gaelic language that's slightly different. So you could be hearing like a Scottish.
I could be doing the Scottish version. Okay.
Yeah. So don't feel like you're speaking it wrong.
And
you do a Scottish accent, Matt?
Most likely heard Ushkabe is from the Whiskey Tribe and the
Whiskey Tribe guy. That's where I heard it from.
Yes,
they said like Ushkave or something.
Water of life. As it's
Matt,
those guys are awesome. I love those guys.
Scottish accent.
Oh, hi, laddie. So I can't do a Scottish accent.
just call
really,
for
but I can get certain
Oh,
vowels right by doing a certain thing, but I can't really do a Scottish accent. I have to get certain vowels.
It's all about the intonation, eh? Like the Scottish accent is always rising.
It's the intonation, the up and down. It's like that's the kind of thing you're doing. Yeah.
You just think back to Brave. I don't want to be a martyr.
Bad Scottish accents for an American audience.
I know.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Accents are the best. I love accents.
Accents are great.
Hey, Damo's back.
Damo's back. Where are you, Damo? You were like in China or Japan at one point.
He's in Hong Kong.
Are you still there? Is that where he lives?
He's in Hong Kong. He lives in Hong Kong.
He's still in Hong Kong?
He's in Hong Kong? I was wondering where in China he was. I didn't realize it was Hong Kong. Okay.
I used to live in Nagasaki.
Trevor's saying that's a drunk accent on an Irish accent.
You lived in Nagasaki?
Yeah, Nagasaki. That's where I wrote.
So Matt, with the guy, so one of the guys I work with, he's the director of OIST, which is the like MIT.
Cheers, Candace. Candace is out.
Bye, Candace.
Thanks for sticking around.
Thanks for being around. Hey, listen to the 15 people that are in the chat. Make sure you subscribe.
Yeah. Subscribe to all these guys. Let's go.
Subscribe
to Vino, 60-second cocktails.
Like
subscribe
this
to Dave DeMatt, the whiskey nerd.
People don't.
And subscribe to David Booze on the Rocks.
People don't move platform. Like I've got what 2,500 on Instagram. No one came over.
No, they don't. People will sometimes move, but
people don't
get it.
No, they don't cross platform very much. But we're gonna call it a night, folks. It's been a fun night.
Yeah.
Anyone in the cocktail community? We gonna take this up in the lounge?
I'll be only for a few more minutes, but I'll be there for a bit.
That's right.
So Trevor and whoever's around, Stefan, come by.
Yeah, I got work in the morning.
All right, David. Cheers, but everyone else.
And Matt,
thanks for. Want to thank everyone in the chat.
Thank you for having me, guys. It has been great.
It was awesome for joining us.
Always a lot of fun.
Thank you.
All right. If you're drinking something, hold it up. And Vino, you want to cheer us out with your...
here, folks, but no matter what, when life gives you lemons, you make
a cocktail.
Make some cocktail. Cheers, folks.